apocalypse, Mr. Mannheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
Hey guys, it's time to take a look at the Suicide Squad, not to be confused with the Suicide Watch, which is what I was on during my entire 20s. This is James, this is Darkside's Couch.
This is Mike, and I concur.
This is dark. What the fuck?
That there's a man joke.
It's
Shée is just too sensitive to appreciate.
I'm Shée.
It's fine, Shea. It was a joke. Nobody cared what happened to me. It's fine.
Haha,
that's
that's
the
a second.
singer.
Jesus Christ.
Second
Another
half of
man
that.
joke.
Yeah.
I enjoy the darkness of that joke.
Sure.
Because with the chemicals in my body, allow me to do atrocities.
I think we had a moment like 5 minutes ago before we started where we were considering doing like a nice episode.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be
gone.
like,
Never mind. We're not doing the nice episode.
Yeah.
That'll be
Well,
our
it's a
April.
suicide
I
Squad.
definitely sang Darkseid's Babies.
You did sing Darkseid's Babies. No, that'll have to be our April Fools when we just say really woke things. Well, we kind of do anyway. We just don't say them in that way.
No, because that would be what's that white? What's that called? White knight in it? What's that
Yeah,
called?
we'd be white knight. Yeah, we'd be white knight.
You're showing your virtue signaling.
virtue signaling.
Yeah.
No, we're not about virtue signaling.
Do people still do that?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. We want to say the correct thing, but we want to look bad saying it.
Okay.
Be on the
That's
right.
the opposite.
We want to be on the correct. Yeah, exactly. We're doing the inverse of virtue signaling. We're saying and believing the right things and believing the right things, but we're making ourselves despicable in the process.
I prefer to do good things but say horrible things.
They say the best charity is anonymous. You know, but then they say, what if your charity and not being anonymous about it causes other people to be charitable? And
That's
so
right.
maybe you shouldn't be anonymous with your charity. That's what a lesson I learned from The Simpsons. That's in an old episode of The Simpsons with Herschel Krostowski teaching that lesson. That's how I
Isn't that why
learned.
like charities will have like
morals.
celebrity endorsements or whatever.
Because that shit works. That's why. Because that shit works. I was just on a thing the other day, and God, I can't even remember what it was, but they were talking about, yeah, we got the Rock's involved with our campaign next year, and it's really going to get a lot of people's attention. It's like, yeah, it will. Whatever it is, I don't even remember what it was, but it's like, yeah, that's going to get a lot of donations you otherwise wouldn't be getting. So absolutely, it works. I'm waiting for the phone call. I'll endorse anything.
Speaking of donations, this issue of the Suicide Squad involves the campaign of 1988.
That was a good campaign. So we were transitioning gently from Reagan to Bush.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Well, not really.
We were rocking in the free world, as
It's
Neil
just
Young would have
that
said.
Bush just like, hey, I'm actually the president, and I have been the whole time.
Yeah. That was back when you could say like we need a kinder, gentler America, and that was like something you could run on. You can't say that now.
No, not now. I
You
don't
would-
want that.
They would, yeah. It doesn't like nobody can say that and run for president. You got to talk about having the biggest biceps. Like,
Yeah, that's right. And the
Yep,
best
you just
insults.
You gotta talk about the biceps.
It's so weird. As shitty as those guys were, as Bush and Reagan were, they were calling to be kinder and gentler, and they got elected on that shit.
But the thing is, though, they weren't actually kind.
No, of course
Not
they
at
weren't.
all.
But still, you could. That was your campaign. Like you could still campaign on that promise, and
Now
people
lock
would
'em
like
up.
it. Now you campaign on lock 'em up. That's the only campaign we need.
I promise to lock him up harder than my opponent.
Those three little words are now lock 'em up. Yeah, this came up on the wheel last time. Suicide Squad, issue 22 from the year of our Lord 1988. It's a book called Final Round, written by the great John Ostrander, art by Luke McDonnell and Carl Kessel. And we've got, as we mentioned last time, we got Chewy Garcia on the cover there.
Yep.
Do people
The
outside
base
Chicago?
Chewy.
Does anyone outside Chicago
does
know
look
about
like
Chewy?
Chewy.
It does look like Chewy. Does anybody? Is that too local?
No, that
of a
is.
reference?
That's very neat. No, nobody knows who Chewy is, I think, outside of maybe Illinois. But
I want to live in the reality where Chewy is the mayor of Chicago and has been for the last 20 years.
Chicago. Let Chewy be the mayor.
Just let him be the
What?
mayor.
What do you got to do that's so important you can't let Chewy be the mayor?
Like anyone they've chosen.
Yeah.
Has they been like any worse than Chewy would have been?
Let him do it.
At least it would have been fun.
Like 3 terms. Like 3 terms and he's done. What, why can't you share? Just let him do it.
How about 2.5, but he vanishes?
Oh, just in the middle. He's just gone one day.
He just checks out.
Jesus.
He left to manage a haunted house.
Like, he just had too many emails one morning.
Like,
he was just like, I gotta go.
Dude, I've almost checked out of my entire life. I almost joined the Suicide Squad because I had too many emails in some mornings. I get it.
I have done that before, where I just checked out of my life and just bailed. I've done that twice.
It's so tempting,
Twice?
isn't it?
Yeah, where I like built a small life for myself and just left.
Yeah. I don't know if you wanted to elaborate. I don't know if that was like laying the foundation to elaborate on that, or if you just wanted to skim over it.
Well, it's nothing like I abandoned a family.
Yeah.
It was just like I had a job in a place I was living, and I'm just like, all right, enough of this.
Oh, well, that's what I did when I came to Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, I had a whole life. I had a nice home. I had friends. I had a job, and I just was
checked
like,
out.
yeah, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, but did you quit or did you just leave?
What do you mean? Like a job? I just left.
I did quit, but I did position it so that it was pretty inconvenient for the company I was working for to continue. Like I did wait. I could have told them earlier. I waited until the last minute to tell them, and I kind of left them in a lurch. So
On purpose?
kind of on purpose.
Hey, James,
bit.
if they fired you, would they give you 2 weeks' notice?
Oh, exactly. And that was kind of my thing. It's like I worked with a lot of great people. Like the people I actually worked with were fantastic, and I really would never want to screw those people over. But I was absolutely keeping in mind that at the top, oh yeah, absolutely, they would fire me without a second's hesitation if they wanted to. So
Yeah.
that was kind of my justification. Is like, you know, I don't really think I'm inconveniencing the boots on the ground that I like and respect. I'm inconveniencing the management, and fuck them.
What was the job?
Well, that was when I worked in radio.
Oh,
That was when I
wow.
worked. That was when I worked in radio, and I was the production and programming director. And we were transitioning to like a new building and everything. And I felt like they were not going to keep me. I felt like they were keeping me around to make the transition easier because they really needed my help in the transition. And then I felt like I was going to get let go.
Oh, yeah. Well, radio.
It's truly how I felt. I felt like because I'll tell you another thing. I was the only person under 30 who hadn't been fired except for the owner's children.
Nice.
And I felt like there was a little bit of ageism, and I felt like it was use James to help transition everything over and then cut him loose. And so everything just kind of came together, and I went, you know what? I'm not letting this happen. And I bounced, and I came to Chicago.
Yeah, imagine how terrible that would have felt if you didn't do that. And
If I did all that work to help them
they
transition.
fired you.
Yeah.
That would have been a moment that would make you bitter.
Yeah. Oh, and I know moments that made me bitter. I collect those for sure. So I get
fuck
it.
them before they fuck you.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of the way. Man, this did not turn into a gentle episode at all.
No, we doubled
Jesus.
down on our hatred.
Well, you got to stand up for yourself. It's a
The
tough
world did this to us.
It's a tough world. Like, you can't be an asshole, but you got to stand up for yourself. And it's a tough balance.
That's right.
It's real hard, but, you know, you can do it. Somebody parked in Shea's spot, her rental car's spot, and delayed our recording. Look at those assholes.
Did you smash in their windows, Shée?
No, I parked next to it and I took a bunch of pictures to show I was in the right.
Smashing their windows.
And then
But
I tried to report it to the fucking thing, but the app is all adamant. Never mind. I'm not going into old man corner.
Okay.
I would have slashed those tires. I would have carved "fuck you" into the car.
That's the point. Is there's a lot of people out there that think they're the only ones who exist, and you
The
need to stand
parking
up
spot
to
is
them.
clearly labeled. It also is clearly labeled that they're going to get towed. And so
Get them towed.
Yeah.
Call them. Tow that shit. Actually, Shée, I did this before years ago when Shée and I first met. She had a parking spot in her apartment.
I was just thinking about this.
And Shée did not have a car, by the way. So
But I had a
would park
parking
there.
spot.
She had a parking spot, and I would park there when I visited. And one time I came over, and the spot was taken by just some random asshole, and we knew they weren't allowed there because it was Shea's spot. And so, yeah, we had them towed, and then we sat in my car and watched the tow truck pull them out and laughed.
That's awesome.
Fuck them. Like,
Yeah.
you should don't initiate fucking people, but when they try to fuck you, you got to fuck them right back.
Yeah, I guess just like doing the thing you're supposed to do, it was the right call.
Yeah, just follow. Most of the rules work.
My thought was to smash the back passenger window with a tire iron and throw a Molotov cocktail in the back seat and burn the car to the ground.
Yeah, but you know what happens then? I don't have a place to park.
Oh, that's true. Well,
I got
you
to
will
free up that slot.
eventually.
Yes. I got nothing but time here.
Right, but they don't have a car now. I guess that would. I guess you're running the risk though of burning down the building it's next to.
Yeah, this is Chicago. Everything's flammable.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I made an executive decision, and it was to keep the car closer to where they thought the car was going to be than try and find another parking spot.
Yeah. You got to get them. You got to stand up for yourself. You got to push back a little bit. All right, this is the legendary John Ostrander run, which I have not read all of, but I've read a bunch of it, and it's really fucking good. This is the revival of the Suicide Squad after the Crisis, and this is when they took them from just kind of being like kind of a lame, espionage or whatever team to the Dirty Dozen, where they basically a hard-ass government, whatever. Amanda Waller has put together a bunch of mediocre supervillains for the most part, and sends them out on suicide missions in exchange for clemency on their sentences.
Yeah, but by being in the comic, they are no longer lame.
You know what? That's the catch-22.
Right.
You're all of a sudden cool.
Yeah, you're cool. You're in the Suicide Squad. You're a murderer.
It's called the Suicide Squad. That's pretty badass.
Right.
You know?
They're going to get killed, and they're going to kill other people. Wow.
Yeah, they might die. They've got bombs in their necks. Who knows what might happen? It's fucking crazy.
They're like looking at the DC villain roster, and they're like, who looks really stupid? Let's make them cool.
Climbing up the power rankings for sure. Look out, Joker. Here comes Deadshot.
Deadshot's cool, though.
Deadshot actually is cool. Although, I mean, have you seen his original costume? Do you know what Deadshot used to look like when he first appeared?
No, I thought it was this. This
No.
is what we're seeing here.
I am not. Shée, do you know this one?
I think so.
Fuck you not. This is the
that's
original
awesome.
Deadshot.
He's wearing a tuxedo with a top hat. I love this
Oh,
guy.
And a
no,
domino
that is
mask.
not one I knew.
That is
you did
awesome.
not know that? Yep, that was the original Deadshot. He was just sort of a dude he was like a cowboy who also wore a tuxedo.
Why did they change that?
I don't know. I mean,
That's awesome. They should have
don't
made
know.
that for the movie.
The same reason they changed Blade's costume, because they're dumb.
Well, I mean, Blade still looked cool, though, back in the 70s with his green jacket. I thought he looked cool.
yeah, green
And
jacket's
his
pretty
wooden knives, not steaks.
there's...
He didn't call them steaks,
Oh,
remember?
you're
He called them
did.
wooden knives.
Yeah, you're right.
cool. Yeah, it's just a steak blade. That's all it is.
His name is Blade,
Right. It's a wooden
so they have to be wooden knives.
Yeah.
Comics code.
Yeah, comics code. On the cover here, we've got it's not Mayor Garcia, it's some senator dude.
And the mayor of Chicago is not Chewy Garcia.
He is not, but he is in my heart. In my
Shame.
mind. Shame. And
He just needed better jokes, maybe.
yeah, you get a long way on jokes.
Maybe he should have trumped it up a little bit.
Trump and George W. got into office on jokes.
Yeah,
That's how they became president. A collective 12 years of presidency. By the way,
Clinton, too.
yeah, a little bit. By the way, are we going to stop this steal or not? It's been 3 years now.
They're working on it.
Stop that steal. Come on, man. We're going to get backed up on steals. We got another one coming up in a year.
Man, I really wish that Trump would do those debates.
Oh, yeah. He'll eventually pop out.
I tried watching one of them, and it was like so boring.
But Trump's also getting boring. He's not as fun as he used to be.
I mean, all he needs is just some solid insults.
His nicknames aren't as good. It's
The
too
Well,
people
it's
running-
because everyone running the world is fucking 80, 100 years old.
Like the people running on the Republican ticket or trying to, they are just a bunch of nerds. And if Trump was there, he would roast the shit out of them. They would there'd be no comebacks. They'd be helpless.
I think you're thinking of 2016 Trump. 2023 Trump is just the sad old man. He's hanging on to his former glory. He's building it up. He's building up his troll powers.
Like maybe what if he does a little like a little blow, beforehand, just to pick him up a little bit.
Do you think he's got a troll meter above his head that's slowly rising, and when it dings, he can come out?
He's
Come
just
out
gotta
swinging?
like hit a stride.
Yeah. Mayor Trump is being assassinated by Rick Flagg and Deadshot simultaneously.
Yeah,
on the
and
cover of
Rick
this book.
Flagg is in such good shape. His
He looks
abs
so
are
good.
popping through his t-shirt.
So on the cover of this, Rick Flagg he's holding a gun, but it really looks like he's just doing a posing routine, and then they added a gun in.
The gun looks photoshopped in this
just like,
cartoon.
dude, you can't just draw Rick Flagg doing a posing routine on the cover. He's got to be doing something relevant to the story.
They put a
Fine.
sticker on top of it. They forgot to draw the gun in, and they
Stupid
just
gun. It looks also like they originally drew him without a shirt. And they're like, dude, you can't just draw thirsty pictures. You can't make thirst trap Rick Flagg. You have to actually have him doing something in the story.
So, like, he's holding the gun wrong. Like, first of all,
That's not going to work.
like, when that gun goes off, it's going to, like,
It's going to throw him back.
the, what do you call it? The recoil is
recoil?
going to smack him in the face.
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be a dude in the military. He's not even looking through the sight.
This is how we know he's not actually going to do it, you know?
Now look at Deadshot. Look at him.
Yeah, that
Holding
guy's
the gun
always
properly.
serious. Don't fucking patronize Deadshot. He's always
his
ready
gun
to go.
is a wrist gun though,
Still,
so it's a lot
look at that.
easier to hold.
He has his arm lined up. You know,
Yeah,
he
just-
he's
He
using the
is a
sight.
gun. He's a giant gun. He's
He
a
is.
200-pound gun. This is actually kind of ballsy in 1988 because like we had the Reagan assassination attempt. Like,
When
this
was
is-
that?
Oh man,
Let's look that up.
Reagan assassination. I almost typed in Reagan ass and would have gotten some good results there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's see that Nancy ass.
81. So it was 7 years later, but still, it's pretty sensitive.
7 years is fine.
It's pretty sensitive. I mean, I'm just surprised. I'm surprised that this got approved by the Comics Code and everything.
Dude,
but-
nowadays he'd get assassinated or have an assassination attempt, and there'd be memes about it like that day.
we have gotten really cruel. Like it's pretty bad.
I don't think we've gotten cruel as much as like deadened.
Dude, when Matthew Perry from
Our
Friends
tolerance has gone way up.
Yeah.
like you know how many memes of that I saw immediately?
I guess it's just because it's like
When who died?
when
Matthew
Matthew
Perry
Perry
from
died.
Friends.
Oh
every-
yeah, immediately.
I guess it's just because everybody can have a voice now. And so somebody's going to say the shitty thing. And so it just rises to the top.
And not only was it like immediately, but they were fire.
Some of them are pretty good. Actually, I don't know. I wasn't.
Yeah,
don't-
I gotta admit, some
I'm
of them
not-
were-
Immediately, some of those like, oh my god,
Dude.
well done.
I'm kind of trying to get over that. I'm trying to not be the morbid edgelordy kind of guy anymore. I don't want to be that anymore.
They weren't even necessarily morbid or edgelordy. They were just fucking funny, and
Yeah, those
I'm
are good.
sorry. They were just good bits.
Well done, Reddit.
Yeah.
James is an 80s/90s politician running for office, and he's asking for a kinder, gentler times.
Well, it's my next move is running for office, and I got to start reevaluating my image.
Oh, dude, this show is not going to be good for you. You're going to be canceled
no.
immediately.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be tough.
shit. I'm surprised Bud Dwyer hasn't been brought up so far in this episode with
Oh,
how
yeah.
fucking dark it's been.
Good old
Oh
Bud
my
Dwyer.
god, dude! You know what? So like, I saw this came up in the wheel, and I was thinking about the Twitch stream, and sometimes I'll pick like bumpers in between movies, and I was like, oh, I should play the Bud Dwyer video.
I
You could play the music video to "Hey Man, Nice Shot."
Right? How'd they get away with that? Putting that in there, like that was a real dude who killed himself on TV.
Oh, is it in the video for
Yeah.
Hey Man Nice Shot? Is that what
It
you're saying?
is.
It is. Here's what I would do. Play the Bud
think it
Dwyer.
is.
I would say play the Bud Dwyer video, but right before he kills himself, it just cuts to a montage of farm animals. Just
Okay.
frolicking, having a good time. Yeah, it's dark. It's dark. But you know what? A pretty metal way to go out, Bud Dwyer. Like that was
Yeah,
that was
for people who don't know, he was like what was his position in government? He was like a treasurer, and he was accused of embezzlement, but he didn't actually do it. But he knew his like career was over, so he just killed himself.
I honestly don't know the Bud Dwyer story.
Pretty sure that was the story.
I do tend to believe I do have a distant memory in my head that he wasn't.
Yeah, he served as
guilty.
the treasurer of Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So crazy, man. I mean, but if you're gonna do it, you might as well make a crazy spectacle out of it.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
only get it once. You only get to
Might
do
as
it
well
once.
make it everyone's problem.
Yes.
Well,
absolutely. Your life matters.
Yeah, you're the only one that matters. Park in other people's spots. Do whatever you want. Assassinate yourself on TV. Who cares?
I'm just saying, don't go quietly.
I
No
don't
one
like the way
remembers
this
you.
episode's going. Can we start the comic?
I will always
All right.
remember that guy.
Yeah, he got his 15 minutes.
Like, he's more immortal than any of us will
No,
ever
my
be.
my only issue with it is like, don't adults fine. I just don't want kids seeing that shit. Like, can we please let the kids not be traumatized immediately? That's my only thing. Like, adults can see any of that shit. I don't care.
All right, yeah. Now let's read this child's book
Let's
about
read this
murder.
children's murder book. Yeah, it's a story called Final Round. And the Suicide Squad, if you don't know, they're always a rotating cast because members of the team are always dying. They're always getting killed. And I guess we could do a little bit of a roll call because there are definitely some unknowns and some deep cuts in the group at this point. And we open up with a nice scene with everybody in there, and I guess we can kind of identify everybody. We've got Deadshot in the back.
Without his, people won't recognize him because he's not wearing a tuxedo and a top hat.
Let's go through and let's redraw some of these pages here. Captain Boomerang, who was reimagined post-crisis for this book as a racist Australian. So
Was he racist?
Oh yeah, he's just a bigoted guy. Captain Boomerang's a bad guy.
man. He's a bad man.
He's a genius though. He is a genius.
But he's also a murderer.
There are plenty of bad geniuses.
He's a murderer.
He kills people with boomerangs.
He kills people with boomerangs. He's cowardly. He'll run away from a fight if he thinks he's going to lose. Like he's
being smart. What's he going to do? Lose the fight?
He's still alive. So there's something for you. Although he did die in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Spoiler alert for a several years old movie.
You can tell who the coolest guys are because Deadshot and Captain Boomerang are the only ones smoking.
And they're in the back of the room, like they're the
Right,
cool,
back
like
of
they're
the
the
bus.
bad kids. Yeah, the bad kids in the back of the bus. And then in front of them, we've got so this dude I didn't know, Briscoe, with the
County
sunglasses.
Jr.?
Yep,
Yeah, I was
Briscoe
thinking
County
that too.
Jr. It is Bruce Campbell here. No, I'd never heard of this guy before. Apparently, and this is coming from like the DC Wiki, he's a disturbed personality, has named his helicopter Sheba after his dead daughter, and insisted on sleeping in it at night.
Okay.
All right. He was killed while accompanying the squad on a mission to Apocalypse.
He's the guy with the black t-shirt and jeans and sunglasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Sly Stallone looking motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost as cool.
But I was thinking Bruce Campbell now.
Now he's just Bruce Campbell. And then next to him, we got Nemesis, who's basically like a James Bond kind of character guy.
Okay, thank you. Because I was
Yeah.
like, who is this motherfucker here?
He's got the
I've seen him
scales of
around.
justice. Yeah, he's got the scales of justice on his sweater.
I kept thinking Human Target, but yeah.
Similar.
So
Yeah, they're
Nemesis is
definitely-
just like, he's just like a murderer.
Yeah, he's just the guy that kills.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
he's not Batman. Like,
Why does he have like a little symbol?
Because that's the scales of justice. He believes in justice. He
So he's
believes in
Peacemaker?
justice.
Yeah, so it sounds like Peacemaker.
Sure, yeah, he's Peacemaker. Whatever. Like, I don't know. What do you want from me? I
Is
can't.
he Santa?
Yep, he's Santa Claus. He's Santa Claus.
I'm saying.
And then we've got Black Orchid dressed in purple.
Okay.
Not black. Not really. Her branding is a little confused. They're a little muddled. She's basically a plant woman. And I was actually saying before, I was like, I would like to see a plant comic with Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy and the Floronic Man and any other plant people you got. And I completely forgot about Black Orchid. Black Orchid
Black
could round
Orchid.
out that team. Let's get them together doing eco-terrorism together.
They could double date.
They could, yeah. So wait, so it's Poison Ivy's with the Floronic Man and Black Orchid is with Swamp Thing?
Or, whomever.
I would
mean-
put Poison Ivy with Swamp Thing.
It's just like, a group of four. They
Yeah.
can choose their partners, I suppose. I don't need to be playing God with their feelings.
It could be a free-for-all. Maybe they're all into
maybe.
each other.
Right. Their roots entangle.
They're all plant people now. Oh, that's going to be hot.
They're
All
communicating
four of
with
them?
each other through a series of mushrooms.
Well, Swamp Thing has his tubers. He has the psychedelic tubers that he grows on his body, and then you bite them, and that's how he simulates sex.
Nice.
So they'd all just
Oh,
be eating
yeah.
his tubers.
They tried to recreate that for one of the Swamp Thing movies, and they did not capture it.
Oh wow, I should.
It was
check
just
those out.
him looking like a guy fucking her.
I should check those out. I really love Swamp Thing. I got high hopes for the James Mangold Swamp Thing. That's such an underrated character that people don't think enough about. And then in the front row we've got we've got Duchess, who is actually
Oh.
now Duchess is actually Lashina from Apocalypse. She's one of the Darkseid's Furies, but she's on Earth for some reason at this point, going by Duchess. And she is trying to lay back in a reclined position, and she's kind of pretending she has a headrest, but she has no headrest.
I do that too.
She's holding the back of her head as if she's relaxing, but that's not comfortable.
Yeah, it does. You're relaxing your head and neck while you're working your arms.
All right, fine.
Always getting your pump.
Yeah, I guess you're always working out. And then down from her, we've got Shée the Changing Man, which if you're like me, you're far more familiar with the Peter Milligan Vertigo Shée the Changing Man with this cloak and everything like that. This is the original Steve Ditko Shade.
I thought that was Firestorm.
No, that's not Firestorm. Shée the Changing Man is a bizarre, complicated Ditko character who honestly seems far more like a Kirby character, both in his design and in his setup. Like, he's just basically the only thing that's really kind of notable about him that we'll see in this book is that he can project himself to look however he wants people to look. Or project himself however he wants people to see him. And he does that once briefly.
Can he do that, or is that what the outfit is about?
That's a good call. I'm actually not sure. I haven't read those early Shade books.
Because if he doesn't need the costume.
Yeah.
That's a really bad costume.
Then maybe he should lose the costume. Yeah, he's got sort of like a wrestling singlet covered in what look like Jack Kirby designs. He looks like one of the Inhumans or the Eternals.
Well, if it's just a costume, it means he's taking circle stickers and sticking them on his body.
Or it's sheer.
Well, they may be Nicoderm strips. He's trying to quit smoking.
Oh,
There you
right.
go.
That's why he's not in the back of the room with Deadshot and Captain Boomerang. He's trying to get away from that.
That's why he's kind of looking backwards a little bit, side-eyed. He's kind of looking back
Yeah,
at
he's
him
like,
like,
"Oh,
you dicks, you know I'm
God."
trying to quit.
Ooh, look how I'm covered in these fucking Nicoderm patches. God damn it.
You know how hard it was to find Nicoderm patches that matched my outfit?
I've got like 7 of them on. This was all CVS had.
And Captain Boomerang's like, put on some pants. Where's your pants at? Changing, man. Why don't you change into some clothes like an adult?
Yeah, he's made uncomfortable by male nudity as well. And then down there, we've got Vixen and Bronze Tiger sitting next to each other because they're a little bit of an item at the time. Right?
Captain Boomerang raises his hand. He's like, hey, Walla, there's too much male nudity at this meeting.
Going back to this. He's uncomfortable about it. That's why he covers up so much. Like, he's almost completely covered. We can't see any muscle. We can't see any definition. He wears baggy clothes.
He like takes off some. He takes a pair of pants. He has spare. Takes these pants, put them on, and Changing Man's just like, these pants are just like they have little boomerangs on them.
I like that it's slowly turning into Mayor Quimby.
Yeah, it's Boston. It's
Vote
not
Quimby.
Australian.
Boy, how about if I add that to it?
So yeah, and Vixen, I think people kind of know Vixen. She's got a magic amulet that she does not appear to be wearing now, but it gives her animal powers. And then Bronze Tiger is a tragic man who had his mind destroyed by the League of Assassins.
Oh, yeah. And this was at the time where if you had a feral character, you had to give him this color scheme and Wolverine's haircut.
Oh, yeah. Orange
Yes.
and deep browns and reds. Yeah. Oh, my God. You're right. They all have the same haircut.
Uh-huh, because all the feral characters in Marvel Comics at this time all had that haircut, too.
I can't tell if it's offensive or just, uncreative.
I don't know.
I think it's
And
just
even worse-
uncreative.
And they it's Wolverine's Vixen has Wolverine's haircut, but with like a weird little mullet,
Yeah.
looking stupid.
Amanda Waller also has bizarre fashion choices. She is also wearing a green jacket like Blade used to.
Well, this is when she was like the wall. Like,
She's always the wall.
well, but like,
Gonna be slammed against that
she
wall.
looks like a fucking truck.
Yeah.
Like, she looks like she will destroy you.
Well, this is awesome. Like, that's a good subversion of what you expect. Like, they've tried to make like sexy Amanda Waller before, and it doesn't work. Like, she
Yeah,
has
power
to be.
lift.
Yeah, she's got to be power lifter Waller. But she's wearing a green jacket over like a taupe covered shirt and pants. It's an odd combination. She's doing like a Green Goblin thing. I don't know what that's
I've
about.
noticed like DC Comics around this time, they're always kind of colored a little weird.
I mean, I guess they were probably there's probably a lot of new printing techniques at the time, and they were trying out different things, seeing what works.
They're all very bright.
I just mean not only that, but just like how everything's kind of arranged. Like on this, just this panel right here, like just the various colors and how they're arranged. It's just weird. It just seems weird.
Interesting. Well, we got Carl Gafford coloring this book, so you can ask him what's going on.
I mean, but all the DC comics were like that. Like all the original Crisis, like everything just seemed kind of off.
I don't know. I'd have to. I know that there was an issue with the first issue of Crisis because they did try a new coloring scheme and it was really, really bad, and they had to actually abandon it after the first issue. So, I mean, I guess it was just kind of a period of time of the 80s were a big period for kind of experimenting on comics and figuring out what works and everything. So there was, I think, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of coloring. So, especially with Watchmen, because coloring is so important in Watchmen because it's almost all secondary colors. And that was like the first comic where it's like, oh, if we use, I guess it wasn't the first comic, but it was one of those a few comics where it was really important that like we were using purples and greens and yellows and all these kind of uncomfortable colors instead of reds and blues. And I don't know, maybe people were like, oh, we really have to start capitalizing on that, but they didn't know how to.
You said abandoning color scheme. I imagine like a truck driving out in the middle of nowhere and just throwing the color scheme out like a dog you don't want.
Wow, you are tired. You have been working a lot. I will also note this story is set almost exactly to the hour 35 years ago from right now, this moment when we're recording this. We're off by 2 days.
Whoa!
Look at that. It's set on Monday, November 7th, 1988, 6:23 p.m. Central Time.
Wow.
So we're off by 2 days. Had we recorded this 2 days later, it would be exactly 35 years to the hour.
Damn.
we should've.
Guys, let's stop. We'll come back.
We'll come back. We'll finish this back.
Let's just say we did.
Cut to 48 hours later. Yeah, let's just say it.
Yeah, it's 2 days later.
It's
We
2
did
days
it!
later. Woo! Well, I probably got something for that. Hang on.
Yeah, all right, making moments.
Hopefully nothing crazy happened in the last 2 days that would completely dictate the course of culture that we would have to be addressing it.
Nah,
I'm sure it
everything's
didn't.
going to be all right.
Everything's exactly the same. All right, so let's get into this story. So here's the issue. Rick Flagg, who is kind of Amanda Waller's right-hand man, has gone AWOL because there's a dude, this Derek Tolliver, who used to be the liaison between the government and the Suicide Squad, but he's apparently flipped, and he has now been besieging the Suicide Squad with various obstacles in recent days.
So, like, this is a lot like Marvel Comics at the time. You had to know what everything else was doing.
You had to know everything was going on,
Yes.
and there's a lot of political intrigue. Ooh.
Which is why we have a James Bond-esque character
Yeah, we got that guy.
who looks like Robert Redford.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a touchstone there.
Hey there, Wolverine mullet. Quit looking at my jacket. It's mine. I ain't giving it to you.
Everybody wants his boomerang jacket.
Boomerangs are fucking sweet.
Well, you know, we did mention, because it's worth noting, our very first episode was a Suicide Squad issue, by the way. It was one of the first issues of this very run. But shortly thereafter, we did a Marvel Comics episode that had like another 2 boomerang guys. Like there's a boomerang in Marvel Comics, and then there's Captain Boomerang. And I think there was one more that we saw too.
Yeah,
like
this
there
was
was a
going to be an
moment.
all boomerang show for a while.
Well, I guess we were going to go boomerang centric, and then we kind of ran out of steam.
But you know what? That idea never came back around.
Oh my goodness. Love it. I love a good pun. Love wordplay. So, I guess in the midst of all this trouble, this dude, this Derek Tolliver, that's been causing them so much trouble, he's been talking to a certain Senator Joe Cray, and he told him, hey, Amanda Waller's got this secret Suicide Squad. Why don't we threaten to blow the lid off of them, tell the press that the Suicide Squad exists unless they help you, Joe Cray, get reelected.
That is exactly how government works.
This is pretty damn accurate. Mm-hmm. I wonder who's on our real life Suicide Squad.
Oh, man, I don't know.
There's probably some guys out there.
Yeah, John Cena.
John Cena. You know what? I was about to say John Cena. I couldn't justify it, but for some reason John Cena in my head was, yeah, he's probably. I guess because I'm just thinking of Peacemaker again. By the way, the Peacemaker Tries Hard limited comic that's been out right now on the DC Black label, which is clearly, it doesn't explicitly say it, but it's clearly meant to be based on John Cena and the John Cena depiction of it, is really, really fucking good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, he's Peacemaker Tries Hard is really, really, really good. Anyway, so Rick Flagg has decided, fuck this. I'm just going to go out and probably kill the both of them. I don't feel like dealing with this. I'm going to go against Amanda Waller's wishes. I'm going to go do this.
But Amanda Waller, she says, but that goes against my actual plan, and that's why I didn't tell him what I was really going to do, and I don't want him to kill anybody. So go out there and stop Rick Flagg any way you can, even if it means to kill him.
Which is, Amanda Waller gets so upset when her plans go sideways, but they're so complicated, and she relies on these assholes.
Well, she has a death squad, so she's going to solve all of her problems with death.
But a lot of times it doesn't work out because she relies on fucking Captain Boomerang.
He's like, oi, I can kill him with this boomerang.
Like, he's going to try to kill people with a boomerang. If that's not what you want, don't hire him for that.
Deadshot looks like he's played by Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, so Deadshot at this point, Floyd Lawton, he's got his pencil mustache and he's always smoking a cigarette. Yeah, he looks like Burt Reynolds or maybe Norm Macdonald as Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, either or.
Yeah, or either or.
That's my fan cast.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think. No, he looks like
maybe not
Death
now.
Wish.
Oh,
Bronson.
Charles Bronson? Yeah.
Oh, he's got a little
Yeah.
Bronson in him.
That'd
Yeah,
be good
wish I was
too.
dead. Yeah.
He made a bunch of, he did Death Wish.
I like that all your fan casts are people who have passed away.
Yeah.
So-
Like, we can't do any of this.
Those are the people from the movies I watch.
So Amanda Waller's like, yeah, this was I had a whole plan, and Rick Flagg went and fucked it up because I didn't tell him the truth about it. So you guys need to go out there and you need to stop him, even if it means killing him. And this divides the squad because some people, like Bronze Tiger and Vixen and, what's his name, Nemesis, they're sympathetic to Rick Flagg. They like him. Meanwhile, guys like Deadshot and Captain Boomerang are happy to kill anyone.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
thought that, like, Bronze Tiger and Vixen and
We're good guys.
And Nemesis were, they were good guys.
They are. Well, yeah. Bronze Tiger has had a complicated life. Vixen, yeah, was pretty much always a hero. I think the whole idea of it being exclusively supervillains is a little fuzzy based on what Amanda Waller wants to use.
Well, at
and what
this
she has
point
access
in
to.
the comic, are they like prisoners? They're forced to do this?
I don't know for a fact, but I assumed as much because they're all at Belle Reve, and it doesn't seem like they really have much agency in this.
So what did Vixen do to go to jail?
Honestly, well, I mean, again, this is the DC universe. She may not have done anything. Amanda Waller may have just said, I want that lady, get her on this team, and they just abducted her for all I know. Who knows?
Oh, or she wasn't working at the time?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Work?
I have
She's
no
like,
idea.
hey, I got a job. She's like, oh, thank God.
I mean, she can be any animal in the animal kingdom. I would think she would have gainful employment.
Well, what job can you do with that?
I mean,
Children's birthday party?
children's birthday party. I could be a horse. People like horses.
I'm a one-woman petting zoo.
Dude, if you had the power of oxen, you could do all kinds of things.
Wait, does she like summon the animals, or does
No,
she like
they
turn
become
into them?
She gets surrounded by like a giant sort of holographic aura and controls them and manipulates them from within the aura. But so she has all the abilities. She just kind of manifests the spirit around her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have the bombs in their neck.
I believe they do right now, or maybe they don't right now, but one way or the other, they are compelled. Because sometimes they have the bombs in the neck, sometimes they have collars. There's been a couple different things. Amanda Waller does mention later, like putting bracelets on everybody. So that may have been, that may have been a reference to that for sure.
They're like suicide. They're like a friendship bracelets, except Suicide Squad.
And then Bronze Tiger stands up, and you can see his Bronze Tiger in that Speedo. Look at
Yeah,
him.
you sure
Oh,
can.
what a good man. Ooh.
He has the entire room's attention.
Yes. Even Captain Boomerang has got to be paying attention to this.
Big hogger on ya. Whatever they say. What's the slang for dick in Australia?
Australian slang for penis.
Yeah, thank you.
You could go donger, doodle, doozy.
All right, donger. I should have said that.
Donger's pretty good, yeah. Oh, what do Aussies call condoms? A condi, a dinger,
A dinger for your donger.
a dinger for you can put a dinger on your donger. Franger. Those are pretty good ones.
Franger.
I could go down a deep rabbit hole of inappropriate Aussie slang for sure.
Sure, yeah, they're
Yeah,
fine.
like
They're
it.
fine people.
Yeah, leave that tab open. That prison island.
I feel like that's probably where I belong.
On a prison island?
Yeah,
That's
where
like
all the
like a
bugs
warden?
are gigantic and all the animals will kill you.
You just want to be like a warden there, or are you like an inmate?
I don't know, probably an inmate. I think I belong in some kind of jail.
Nah, I think it'd be fun to be. You could be a cruel
Alrighty.
warden. You could be an evil, cruel warden that everybody hates, but they respect him.
I don't want. I believe in the underdog.
I don't know that we really consider murderers underdogs.
I'm not saying, Shea, that I belong in prison. I mean, I belong on a prison nation. Like, I feel like I'm descended from criminals, and I belong amongst them.
So you've got a house and everything on the island. You're not in the prison, but you're adjacent.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying, like yeah. It's like I get it.
Like you know them, they know you. You pass by the gates. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wave. You bring them brownies and stuff for sure.
I'm not bringing nobody nothing.
Yeah, that's true. You're not a gift giver. You'll just give cash. Like rather than a thoughtful gift, like here's the cash equivalent of that gift.
Yeah, go buy whatever you want. I don't want to know you well enough to purchase a personal gift.
And don't tell me what you bought with the money. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Nothing to do with any of this.
Go get some socks and some school supplies.
So the way this breaks down, the way Waller kind of convinces these people who don't want to kill Rick Flagg to go is by saying, well, if you don't go, you people who want to apprehend him peacefully, if you don't go, then you're just sending out the guys who want to kill him. So you're just Deadshot and Cat Boomerang are just going to kill him. So you might as well go on this mission to try and restrain them.
They're like, they like swap cigarettes while they're like doing their posing routine to show they're willing to kill.
That's so cool. Do you think like they ever trade weapons and maybe Deadshot tries to kill someone with a boomerang and Boomerang tries to kill
because
somebody?
I think Captain Boomerang gets all pissy about it.
I think Captain Boomerang like shoots someone. He goes, "This is way easier. I've been using boomerangs.
It's like a boomerang, but it only shoots one way. It does,
and I don't gotta wind up to throw it.
You barely gotta aim.
I could kill way more people with this.
You don't have to get it back. You can just be gone. Like the bullet's gone.
What happens when like I miss? That boomerang's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I don't get it back. So they head off. I guess Deadshot's been through some pretty dramatic stuff in his miniseries involving his mother killing his son or some shit because like his mother wanted Deadshot to kill Deadshot's father and he refused to do it. And so to punish Deadshot, she killed Deadshot's son, Eddie.
A bad grandma.
It's pretty fucking bad, and this is why Deadshot is really fucked up in this book and keeps mentioning Eddie, which was his dead son and everything. So.
Okay. That's his son. Okay.
Yeah, so he's trying to, like in his mind, he's still trying to kill his dad in order to keep his son from getting murdered. Pretty fucked up. So the doctor, the local, I guess the Suicide Squad has a doctor on hand for medical reasons, and says, hey, you really shouldn't be sending Deadshot out right now. He's completely he's really bonkers right now. You probably don't want him on the mission. Like, wow, but he's a really good killer.
If I want him to go kill people, the more insane he is. You know what? I didn't know any of that. That explains his behavior in this book.
Yeah, he's unhinged. He's off the deep end for sure. So Amanda Waller has somebody trying to reach Tolliver to try and whatever blackmail scheme that Amanda Waller has queued up. But unfortunately, they can't reach Tolliver. We'll find out why in a minute. And at Tolliver's apartment or hotel, wherever he's staying, we got these two generic investigators.
Mm-hmm. Whose color schemes are just slightly different.
Oh, yeah. They're just basically two hot dog men. Two orange hot dog men.
They're
okay. I had to look this up to make sure I was correct about Deadshot because I thought I might be confusing it with the Punisher backstory. Okay. I know what happened to Eddie.
Okay. We'll just sit here. That's cool. We don't have to. Everybody take a break.
It wasn't that Floyd's mom kidnapped the kid. It was this whole convoluted conspiracy that she had like going on to inspire him to kill his father. Mm-hmm. Eddie was kidnapped by a pedophile.
Oh, I did read that. I have not read the miniseries.
And killed when the pedophile he was trying to assault him, and he fought back.
Okay. Well, it was
it's even worse.
Yeah, it was still involved with a whole conspiracy with his mother, and I guess for whatever reason, Deadshot feels that if he had done what his mother had asked and killed his father, he would have been able to save his son as part of this convoluted conspiracy.
Man, that's pretty brutal.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've all wanted to kill our dads, right? Come on.
Then instead of killing his mom, though, because of course he's going to go find her, he just makes her a paraplegic.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Yeah, that is some. Now he really is aiming for that Joker position because that's some Joker shit right there.
Dang, poor Deadshot.
Yeah, he's been through a lot.
I could see why this happened, why he's like this.
Yeah, but think of how much money he makes.
Probably has a lot of money.
That
He could
dude
buy
never
so many
misses.
new cars.
Yes, new $26,000 cars. We found
So
out.
much.
We found out before the show that Mike was stunned when he found out that a new car is $26,000.
That is an insane amount of money.
When in reality, a new car is $50,000.
That's too much money.
That's a lot of money.
That's too much fucking money to be asking for that.
We just gotta all get raises.
No, make cars cheaper. Like, quit putting all that shit in it.
I mean-
just make a normal car.
You can get cheaper cars. Well, I mean, people, your car should have things to make it better than the
I
previous
want
generation
hand
of cars.
crank windows. I don't want any
Jesus
fucking air
Christ.
conditioning.
Oh, fuck. Air conditioning's been around since what, the 60s?
Yeah, well, guess what? It's a part of the car I don't fucking need.
Jesus Christ, man. We live in Chicago. It's 110 degrees sometimes.
That's a whole like intricate system in the vehicle that can break and cause problems. Like, get rid of it. I don't need it.
Yeah,
I
but it
want the
doesn't-
car to run. That's it.
My seats are ventilated, so they're actually
No.
AC seats. It's fantastic.
No,
Worth it.
that's why. See, you're the problem.
It is pretty cool.
No,
You're the
don't-
problem.
Don't buy a garbage car and it won't break down on you.
I don't want to spend the money. That's
You don't
the
have to
problem.
spend the money, but you're saying that the cars are expensive because they're putting things in that are going to
Yes.
break. They're not necessarily going to break.
Yes, I want hand crank windows, no air conditioning.
I'm sure it's coming back. Hand crank
None of
windows are
that
definitely
shit.
coming back.
I want a bare bones. I want the flip phone of cars.
You want a Studebaker. You want to go back to like the 30s and get a
I want a car that
Studebaker.
runs well,
Like
does-
Mr. Burns would
I just-
drive.
I want everything. I want everything on it to be efficient. Like what?
You want a
don't-
bike.
Yeah, but I want the car version of a bike.
Revulcanize my tires post haste.
Yeah, and make tires out of something better. Clearly, like this is like not working.
So these two investigators, stupid. These two investigators are in Tolliver's apartment, and the reason Tolliver is not able to answer the phone is because it looks like somebody sprayed his guts tall over the ground.
Yeah,
So somebody's assassinated Tolliver, has already got to him. He's dead.
brutally.
Yeah, it's pretty vicious.
DC Comics didn't give a fuck back in
Dude,
the day.
it's
No.
it's a post-Watchmen, post-crisis world. Like, this is what we were doing. So they're investigating the scene, and the one investigator's like, hey, there's this memo here. It's the copy of the memo. It's not the original, but it's a copy of this memo talking about something called the Suicide Squad. Do you think, like, maybe he was going to tell Senator Cray about this Suicide Squad thing, and they were going to go public about it? Right?
He's like,
Yeah.
where's the original at? And the other yellow suit man was like, maybe the killer took it. But it turns out he took it because in America there's no health care and his little
Right.
girl needs an operation.
Can't
and
blame
he
him.
needs to buy some bread.
Yeah. So his the only thing that'll save her is some bread. No, yeah, he stole the original copy of this note, and he's got some friends in the media. They're going to pay big bucks for the tip. So we're going to revisit that shortly in a very bizarre page that I don't really have a.
His partner will suspect him, though, because when his daughter gets the operation and gets better, he goes, she should be dead. How did you afford this?
Tee-hee. So the Suicide Squad lands in Washington, and it's raining, so it looks really cool.
And no one has an umbrella.
No, because
Don't need one.
No, these guys are badass. Black Orchid probably loves it. It's a
This
flat one.
boomerang jacket's waterproof.
His tiny hat is still on his head.
That's right.
You
He's got
know,
Velcroed on, though.
What is up with that tiny hat? Come on
He's
now.
a steward on an airplane.
Is that his secret origin story? Is that he was a
Yeah,
steward?
he was a flight attendant.
Oh, wow. So they split up, and everybody has a different way of trying to hunt down Rick Flagg, and they're all going to split up. Meanwhile, Deadshot and Captain Boomerang are like, well, we're just going to go find him to kill him. It's Duchess as well.
Maybe Captain Boomerang and growing up worked at a fast food restaurant where they made you wear the embarrassing paper
Oh,
hat.
fuck.
And he just really liked it.
Dude, I had to wear that hat because I had like an actual like a hat, like a baseball cap hat, and I didn't bring it one time, and I had to have something, and so they gave me the fucking paper hat when I was
Oof.
bussing tables as a kid.
It's to teach you a
Fuck.
lesson to not forget your hat.
Oh my god, I never forgot it again.
Yeah, I bet you didn't.
Never forgot it again.
I would have quit.
Yeah, I did quit. I did quit pretty aggressively.
I would have quit
did.
if they handed me a paper hat. I'd be like, I'm just not going to do this job.
Unlike the other time, I guess I could tell this story. The other time that I quit a job very ceremoniously, I guess, is it was a Saturday night, and I was working at this all night, overnight. It was a Coney Island chain in Michigan, and I was bussing tables, and it really sucked. It was a shitty place to work, and people acted shitty, and everything was shitty. It was a lot of shit going around. And so one night, Saturday night, super busy, the guy tells me, "Hey man, need you to go clean up the ladies' bathroom." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess." And I grab like the mop or whatever, and somebody walks by and they're like, "Oh, they're making you clean that up?" And I go, "Yeah." And I go, "Oh, fuck. What's going on here?" And I get close to it, and I see that there is shit smeared all the way out the door.
Oh my God.
And I went back to the guy, I was like, "I'm sorry, man. This is fucking disgusting. I can't do this." And he just freaked out on me. He just completely went up. He was like, "I had to do it." And like, "Yeah, but you're now a manager at a fucking Coney Island at 2 a.m. Like, this isn't, I don't want to follow your lead."
Yeah,
and,
right.
And I tried to be cool, and I was like, "All right, man, then I guess I'm gone, but I don't want to leave on like angry terms." He's like, "No, get the fuck out of here. So I left. And I guess I found out from other people that it was a shit show for the rest of the night, just because they were understaffed. And I actually went and participated in a 24-hour Simpsons marathon some friends were having, and I just went back to that, and we just hung out and watched The Simpsons through the night. And
That's much better than
it was
cleaning
way better.
shit off of a wall.
Way better. Oh no, it was on the floor. It was as if somebody had just like scooted out of the ladies' room and went like 15 feet out of the ladies' room, just like snail trail of shit the entire way.
That's awesome.
Shée is tuned out. I'm sorry. Shée doesn't want to hear any of that.
No, I don't.
No. So anyway,
Because she did it. It was her.
those are the 2 times that I really quit a job. Or was fired. I don't know.
No, that was appropriate. That was an appropriate reaction.
That was super fucking disgusting, man.
Yeah, you
Like,
don't do that.
no-
You
it
gotta
was-
hire a hazmat team.
It was already a like a unethical job where they were getting away with a lot of workers' rights violations and stuff. So fuck them. All those people are dead now. So
Good Lord.
They died trying to clean up the poop.
yeah, they all got some sort of sepsis. They all got sepsis.
It came to life and strangled them.
So they split up in the rain, and they're Vixen and Bronze Tiger are talking about, are they going to be able to kill Rick Flagg if they have to, you know? And
He
then
goes, nah, I like that guy.
yeah, they like him. He's a likable guy. He's trying his
Good
best.
Dude. He's a good dude.
Then we have this bizarre page, and it says it's at the editorial offices of a great metropolitan newspaper. They don't call it the Daily Planet.
Yeah, but it's clearly the Daily Planet.
It's clearly the it's clearly the Daily Planet.
the David Lee Planet.
It's a very David Lee Planet. Oh, you mean Earth? The most David Lee
Okay,
planet?
I didn't realize it was the Daily Planet.
Well, I think it's supposed to be because there's
Well, there's Lois.
There's
and
Lois.
Perry White, and there's Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen, and sitting there's a silhouette that looks like Superman, that looks like Clark Kent.
Oh, and there's Clark Kent.
It looks like it's the whole crew, and the Jimmy Olsen character even says Chief, calls the editor Chief, and he says, don't call me Chief.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, maybe somebody can tell me about this. A cursory Googling did not explain this to me, but maybe somebody who knows this better can explain this, what happened here, because they're clearly like alluding to the Daily Planet, but it's as if the Daily Planet, it's as if Superman was being published by Marvel Comics or something, they couldn't say it. It's really weird. I don't understand why they can't say the Daily Planet,
I
but
think they're just trying to be cheeky.
it's a weird thing to be cheeky about out of
It's
nowhere.
a way to have these characters do a guest spot without having them do a guest spot.
Yeah, maybe there was a limitation on how much they could use from like the trilogy.
Yeah, there might have been some sort of Superman referendum at the time. I mean, John Byrne's Superman would have been going on at that point. So I don't really know.
Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, they probably were told, like, don't pull directly.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. But at any rate, they're having a debate about whether or not they can actually run this story. And the Perry White character, the editor character, is basically saying, yeah, we're not going to be able to run with this story. We don't have enough information. So that investigator's whole plot to get some money for his daughter just blew up in his face. This doesn't look like it's going anywhere.
Yeah.
But
So she died.
Well, it looks like it's not going to go anywhere. But then the Jimmy Olsen character is like, well, what if Senator Cray died? Because if Senator Cray dies, that kind of looks like corroboration that all this stuff might be true. And he goes like, yeah, well, if Senator Cray dies, then I guess we can run this story. But what are the odds of that?
So now Jimmy Olsen is incentivized to kill the senator.
I always knew that fucking guy, that redheaded creep.
He's like,
I knew
if
he was up to
I'm
something.
going to make the news now.
That's all they care about. That's all murderers care about is making the news. So now it's 9:53 Eastern Standard Time because they've moved over. They've switched time zones.
And Nemesis has a Apple Watch.
I was actually going to say the same thing. Yeah, he's trying to show it off because this was big technology at the time. But now who gives a shit?
Because
Not
I'll just
impressed.
check my Apple Watch, and you're like, oh.
There was a moment when I was like, 10 years old or whatever, where I was really into Dick Tracy. And Dick Tracy's whole thing is that he had like a two-way wrist radial watch. And at the time, that was like super impressive. And they had to like gradually up the tech to make it more competitive with what was really going on in the world. And eventually he got like a video watch. But even that ended up being like not that impressive anymore.
Yeah, now you can
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen like when they inevitably reboot Dick Tracy. Like what's he going to have now?
He's just going to have a normal smartphone because everybody has one.
Yeah, he's nothing special about him at all. Like, you
Yeah,
don't got
right.
anything.
Because you'd have to, well, of course you're going to have it take place in the past. They're going to
So-
do like a modern.
Does anybody want that, though? Does anybody want a period piece with a guy who has a radio watch?
No, I don't want them to make any more Dick Tracy movies. They already made the one with
They made the one. Yes.
that one. That's good enough.
With Warren Beatty, yeah. Beatty?
Yeah.
Beatty?
Yeah,
Beatty?
and Warren Beatty will do what he needs to in order to not lose the rights.
There we go. We'll have the Dick Tracy returns, and it'll be about old man Dick Tracy coming out of retirement for one more thing.
Right. Well, Beatty's done this twice now, Shea's alluding to. He's filmed really low-budget, shitty TV specials as Dick Tracy in order to retain the rights. And they're baffling and weird. And if you watch them, they're really not clear if he's supposed to be playing himself playing Dick Tracy or if he's really playing they're really bizarre and not good and not really entertaining either. But if you just need more of that Beatty Dick Tracy content, there are two bizarre TV specials.
Is he still doing them? Like, who owns the rights to it now?
He does. The last one was like a year ago. And he's like 80 now. So he's
So, like, every
clearly,
few years, he just makes one?
he's made he's only made two of them, but yeah, he made one again last year. They're like a half hour. It's just him sitting in like the yellow coat, like talking to somebody, like a fake interview. And then they cut to some clips and things. It's really bad, but it's just so he can hold on to the rights. And he keeps kind of like teasing, like, yeah, maybe I'm going to do it again. It's like, dude, the window is closed, man. You are way too old for this. Like, you can't do it, and you don't want to let anyone else do it. So what are you doing? You're just going to...
I want them to do it.
Yeah, sure. Want to do 85-year-old Dick Tracy? Sure.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
he's fighting Predator.
Yes. Yeah, throw the Terminator
We
in there,
got
too.
another fucking Indiana Jones, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen those movies.
Yeah, I think
Any-
we talked about this before. We've never watched Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
Maybe we'll watch Indiana Jones one of these days.
I've seen them.
I'm only going to watch the new ones, though, just to piss
Yeah.
off the haters.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the old good ones. I want to
I
see
want to
the new
watch the
shitty
one
ones.
with Shia LaBeouf only.
Shia LaBeouf.
Whatever happened to that dude?
I
That
don't
got
know.
crashed and burned, huh?
He actually had a weird conspiracy a few years back where he self-published some comic books, and then it turned out that they were really bizarre. They're like, I've used bizarre a lot, but it's appropriate. Really bizarre, like children. They look like they're drawn by just a psychotic child, and this is like his art therapy. They're really weird comic books, and then it turned out that he had plagiarized them. Like, he didn't even make them himself, and then he went on this weird, like, he created like an art installation about how apologetic he was about this. It was a whole weird debacle like 15 years ago. It was a really, really weird thing. So, go watch the Dick Tracy specials and go learn about Shia LaBeouf plagiarizing comic books. Mm-hmm. So, moving on to something that makes a little bit of sense. We finally cut over to Senator Cray, and Senator Cray is meeting Tolliver or Tolliver's men at the Lincoln Memorial.
Hey, that's where Captain America was in that one time.
Right, I was going to mention that. Earlier this year, we saw Captain America fight the Lincoln Memorial.
Was that when he was chased by the VW bug?
He was chased by that
was
fine German car.
Yeah,
That
the
was a
fine
gr-
German automobilemanship.
That was a great ass comic.
There you go, Mike. Get yourself an old VW Bug. They got
All right.
roll-up windows.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Those cars ain't got nothing extra in them.
Yeah, I don't want nothing extra. I don't like how every car now has a little iPad in it.
Yeah, let's take the windows out too.
Some cars like they don't even have like the knobs anymore, where like you control your
knobs.
heat and shit with the stupid iPad thing.
James's car doesn't have a shifter; it's just a knob.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck that!
I don't
There's
want
no stick.
Where's your
doesn't matter.
phallus symbol,
Nothing.
It does look more vaginal now.
dude? Are you even a man anymore? They took away your car dig.
It's a dial.
It's a dial. It's a pretty cool dial.
No,
I
it's
got-
not cool at all.
I like the dial.
I
like
love how
the
much
dial.
you hate this, Mike.
Why did they do that?
Yeah.
You
We should have-
literally sound like we told you they cut off his dick.
Yeah, seriously, I'm sick of this bullshit alpha male. My car is an extension of my penis thing.
I
So
don't know, man.
fucking
That car
dumb.
sounds like it sucks. Like
This
it's
car
got a little
fucking-
TV in it that you control
dude.
everything with, and it's got a dial. To
How is that a bad
shift on
thing?
it. Lame.
I can watch TV in my car.
Oh,
yeah, it's a
you're not
bad
supposed
thing.
to. You're supposed to be driving.
Not while I'm driving.
Then get out of the car.
So,
You're
great.
just hanging
What-
out in your car.
Sometimes I'm 30 miles away between jobs or something like that, and I got time to kill.
No, bro. Your car doesn't need a TV in it.
I'm gonna catch up on some fucking Andy Griffith show.
All right.
Catch up on some reruns.
That was the show you thought of. At least
That
it's not
was-
Frasier
That
anymore.
was the first show I thought of. I was watching a lot of Frasier for a moment and not particularly enjoying it, just watching it. It's weird.
I think the Andy Griffith Show is one of my dad's favorite shows.
Yeah, it's every dad's favorite show of a certain age.
Oh, my dad wishes he lived there.
Yeah.
Like that was a real place he could go to.
Yeah, they should make like a retirement community
Yeah,
centered
Mayberry.
around. Yeah, just call it Mayberry, and all the old people can retire thinking they're in Mayberry.
Yeah.
This is a
I want
great
that
idea.
dream to happen.
Dude,
for my dad.
You know what? Not just Mayberry. This should be, here's an investment idea, a series of retirement communities based around TV shows and movies and properties that old people like, and they can pretend they live there.
Yeah, I like this.
This is a great thing. Green Acres, you can pretend you live on Green Acres.
Yep.
Live out your golden years on Green Acres.
Yep.
Do you know what Green Acres is, James?
Green
Yeah, I do.
Acres, yeah. And
Do you
he
know
had
the plot, I mean?
I know that-
Green Acres is the place for
I know
me.
he had to like climb up to the roof to use the phone. I remember that. It was pretty funny. No, what was the premise that I'm missing here?
He was a rich guy who wanted to become a farmer, and he married a like society lady and forced her to come live on his farm.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. They
That's
had a
something
pig
that would've-
named- They had a pig with a human name, and that was the joke.
Arnold?
Yeah,
Arnold.
the pig had a human name. Ha ha ha! That's the big joke of the show.
Wow. That is
That was
in those
that was
days.
Zsa Zsa Gabor, and right?
Oh, my
Oh,
Zsa
yeah,
Zsa Gabor,
right.
Ava
Right.
Gabor, which one?
She would get into shenanigans, and
So
he'd be
Ava
upset, but she
Gabor.
was super hot, and he lived on a farm, and she put up with it for him, so
Yeah.
he put up with her behavior.
Eddie Albert. That was our guy.
Look at that guy.
Eddie Albert also it was an inventor and like helped create, you know, the little bird that like dips into the water and then lifts back up.
He was the guy who did that?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was an inventor.
That bird almost put Homer Simpson out of work.
that's right.
He's going
I
back
think he
for another
invented
drink.
something else too.
Actor, singer, humanitarian.
Lived to 99. Checked out the perfect time.
Yeah, he did right
Like
before it
99,
got
I'm
old.
done.
But look,
Right before it gets weird.
make sure I'm not lying. Make sure he made that bird.
He was born in Rock Island,
That
Illinois, based Illinois,
Let's see.
inventing fucking toy birds.
Well, his wiki doesn't say anything about bird or drinking.
Yeah, you made that up, Shea.
yeah,
Fake
who-
news, Shea. Once
Who
again.
invented the drink? Yeah, but she makes up stories that are completely inconsequential. This says that the drinking bird was invented in 1945 by Miles Sullivan, PhD.
You're stolen valor.
It's
What?
true.
Did Eddie Albert just claim that he did it? Because back in those days, you could just do that. Who's gonna find
Yeah.
out?
You could do that now. Just ask Shia LaBeouf.
Who
Yeah,
told me that?
It's the
Yeah, that's
Shia.
pretty random.
Yeah,
That's
that was
so
a weird
random.
thing to go on to.
Like, who in the fuck told me that? And that like Marilyn Manson had a rib taken out in order
Well,
to
we
suck
all
his
heard-
dick.
we all
It's
heard
that.
probably
We all
the same
heard that.
person.
Yeah, we all heard
Yeah.
that.
Because I
one.
was so sure of that, guys.
I mean, I think a lot of things that I'm sure of that aren't real either.
Back in the pre-Wikipedia and Google days, like you just believed anything anyone told you. Like everything in school that anyone said, it's like, yeah, that seems like it's probably true. And he just believed it. Like an idiot.
Hey, I was raised Catholic.
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's
I feel.
it's the word of God. I mean, that's true.
Damn right it
I
is.
don't understand what the problem is here. All right. So my point is here that everybody goes to the Lincoln Memorial to get their dirty dealings going on, and really probably shouldn't. It's a very public place.
Yeah, and there's got to be security.
Yeah, I've been there, and it's super jam packed all the time, and it's sort of like you can't really like have a moment there because there's always so many people there. But then again, there's always shady business dealings going on there.
This is
like,
pre 9/11, so maybe people didn't care.
Yeah, people didn't care back in the day. Lisa Simpson also had a hard time being at the Lincoln Memorial. Remember, there was everybody there, and
Yeah.
she had to go somewhere else. She had to go to like the Jefferson Memorial instead. Count the Simpsons references this episode. There's a lot of them.
We should have a little ticker.
Little ticker talker. Maybe that'll be on the YouTube video. Maybe it won't.
We'll see how busy we are.
Yeah, we'll see how much I feel like fucking doing more work. So Senator Joe Cray, he's going to meet Tolliver's people at the Lincoln Memorial. And he's like, well, I'm not getting it. I'm still losing in the polls. So fuck it. I'm just going to have my opponent killed when they become the mayor. And then the governor, who's in my pocket, will just go ahead and appoint me the mayor. So
That
one
is
way,
exactly
or
what
the senator.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what Johnson did.
I said mayor. I said all kinds of other things. Senator. He's trying to maintain being the senator.
That's because we equate him to Chicago Mayor Chuy Garcia.
Chuy Garcia. In Dark Side's Cost universe, the mayor of Chicago is Chuy Garcia. That's true.
Batman is Seal.
Batman is Seal or Seal is Batman.
One or the other.
That is a deep cut going back to our Halloween Batman episode from over a year ago, when we listened to a whole Seal album before reading a Batman comic for reasons I can't explain now.
Yeah, we did.
We did do that. We
We reviewed it.
We decided we liked Seal. Seal's the man.
I used to like the memes for those. I used to put Batman, like Seal's face on Batman, and I just thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
There's a lot of shit we found funny in the moment.
And I forgot all about it until like just now.
So-
Remember when I kept putting like Daisy Duke, like cut off Steve
Yeah.
Austin shorts on
Supergirl. Yeah, you did that. Nobody enjoyed it or appreciated it. You spent way too much time on it. And now even you don't find it funny.
No, that's still really funny.
That still works? Well, maybe
Supergirl just wears jorts.
Hey, man, there's a Supergirl
That was
movie.
a good one.
There'll be a Supergirl movie coming out in a few years, and maybe you can start petitioning for that.
Yeah, right.
Put her in some jorts.
That was so
Hey,
dumb.
James Gunn, put her in jorts. Put her in
Yeah,
jorts.
right.
And Chicago, make Chewie the mayor. Those
Yeah,
are the two
just make him
things.
the mayor. That guy we got now sucks.
Yeah, Brandon Johnson. Has he done
Nobody
anything?
likes him. Who voted for this dude? Nobody likes him.
I thought he was fairly well received, wasn't he? I don't know.
No, everybody
It
hates
does-
him now.
It doesn't matter. Well, yeah, because he's in office. You gotta hate the guy who's in
Yeah.
office.
He's
Fuck
the
him.
mayor of Chicago.
Fuck him. If I were in office, I would expect everybody to hate me too.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
dude.
I suck.
Yeah,
And
dude.
so
The last person we elected was fucking Beetlejuice.
He's liked better and doing better than Beetlejuice.
well,
we'll see.
we'll wait till Beetlejuice 2 comes out.
You know, I know this is terrible, but Chicago needs a hard ass mayor.
I mean, I guess it depends on what that means.
We just
Like,
need
what
someone
is
who's
that-
like a hard ass. Like, I don't know, for good or bad. I guess it's just the only way it's gonna work.
Well, I'd rather they be for good.
Well, you
I'd
know what I
rather-
mean. Like, he could do for some like fascisty fucked up shit.
I'd rather not live in a fascist state.
It's kind of like when they
probably-
like took down Saddam, and Saddam was this ruthless
Yeah.
dictator. But with him gone, like the country just kind of falls apart.
Right. We need something in there.
Yeah, you need like a fucking hard ass.
I mean, yeah, but they could still have good aims. They could have good goals. We could start electing people that believe in good things.
Like, wasn't the dailies? Were they a bunch of hard asses?
Yeah, got a lot done. So, I mean, were the Dailies the one who sold the
Yes.
parking rights?
I'm sure they did all kinds of terrible things.
We all woke up once. This was slightly before I moved here, so other people were telling me this, that like just one day, it used to be you could park for free on Sundays everywhere in the city, and then just one day everybody woke up and suddenly you couldn't do that anymore because they just, without any announcement, just sold the rights to some shady company, and now
For like
they
a
were,
million
yeah,
years.
fucking Christ.
You can
man.
still do that in Evanston.
Yeah,
Park for
yeah,
free on
you
Sundays.
can. Yeah, just got to get out of the city. Yeah, for sure. So anyway,
So are
Shée?
we just going to ignore the fact that it looks like people have come all over Rick Flagg's face?
Yeah.
Ric
He's
Flaggg-
just sweating. He ran there.
he just got out of a blow bang. Ugh, that was a dark.
Oh, gross.
I was
He was
thinking
about
of
it.
no, it was a fun bukkake party.
It looks like he went to a blow bang and his dad was there.
Like, oh shit.
What?
I gotta get out of here.
Look, he got come down a bunch, but he's really not happy about it.
I wanted it to be filthy,
The
but not like
only
this.
thing he said was not the face.
Yeah. Well, that just makes the face more attractive. Then I
Dad,
just want that face.
son. So Deadshot is in a tree, and he's got Colonel covered face Flagg in his sights.
He does, because Rick Flagg is there, which I keep wanting to
Ric
call him
Flair.
Rick. I keep wanting to call him Ric Flair. I'm really having trouble with that.
Did you guys see that comic cover I sent you?
I did
About
see that there was a Ric Flair
comic book they just came out with.
Yeah, but you know what? If it came out in like 1987, I'd be like, hell yeah, we're definitely doing it. But they may do these modern comics, and everybody
I
know
know.
they're silly. Like,
Yeah.
no, I want them thinking this was a good idea,
Yeah.
and
I just wanted
genuinely
to show
put
you
their heart
guys
into
that Ric Flair now has a comic book.
it. Yeah, good for him. That's
That
the
guy's
last piece
living
of the
his
puzzle.
best life.
The final piece of the puzzle finally fell into place.
Dude, he's back on wrestling again.
I saw that.
Like, he's
that.
back.
I
He
believe.
wasn't even gone all that long.
I believe when he had his last final match, I think I even said something to you like, "Well, clearly this won't be his final match," and you're like, "No, this is really it. He's done, and now he's back."
Now he's back. He's on TV weekly again. What the fuck? He signed a multi-year deal.
What is he, like 75?
I don't know. He's too old.
How even for a wrestler.
Yeah, multi-year deal.
74 years old.
Look at that
Dude.
picture they give us.
Like
He looks like Joe Biden.
isn't the average age of a wrestler like fucking like 40?
Probably like 35. That's at the average age. Sure. 35, 40.
I mean when they die.
No. I think the majority of wrestlers active right now are probably like in their 30s, late 30s.
Is it possible that Ric Flair and Joe Biden are the same person? And that's
I
why
don't
Joe
know.
Biden's always so tired.
No, Ric Flair is way cooler than Joe Biden.
Well, no,
Joe Biden
that's
sucks.
when he's got all his energy, he's Ric Flair. He exhausts himself as Ric Flair, has to go to his job as Joe Biden, and by that time he's sleepy and tired and boring.
I want Ric Flair to like there's like the president's giving a speech in public, and I want Ric Flair to like in the crowd interrupt him with woos.
Just the
And then,
hype man.
and gets the whole crowd to start wooing, and like Joe Biden can't talk now, and he gets all flustered.
So are
And
we?
Ric Flair gets
yeah.
up there and pushes him out of the way.
Is it or he could be his running mate?
No, he's wooing him off the stage. He's the new Democratic frontrunner. He's
Oh.
going to run against Donald Trump.
Oh, woo is a negative. This is a negative.
Yeah,
woo.
he's like, woo!
He's got a very specific tone that's a negative woo.
I think people would choose Ric Flair over Joe Biden if they could.
Man, it's a tight pony race, isn't it?
You know what I mean? Like if we just asked, like we just had a emergency election. It was like, all right, guys, who do you want, Joe Biden or Ric Flair? I bet you Ric Flair would win.
We had to pick out of a hat. We have a hat with 330 million people in it, every American citizen, and we're pulling out one, and that person is going to run against Joe Biden, and those are your two choices. You have to pick now, and we pull it out, and it's Ric Flair.
You know, like this
That's
photo.
it.
This is the photo they use for like the POTUS photo. Like, they make for like
He
48th president.
looks like he looks like he's selling boner pills at 2 a.m. Look at this
Woo!
guy.
He's got a weed company now. He's got an energy drink company. He's back on wrestling.
There's got to be so
What
much
the
money.
fuck?
So much money in the energy drinks and weed companies.
He's
If
been
you
on
run
Kill
them.
Tony.
I don't know what
like
that even.
multiple
We don't know what that
times.
means.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
what that
like
is.
it's a stand-up comedy show where they bring in amateurs and they have like famous judges, I guess, kind of riff.
Can a 74-year-old man still be a boy? Can he still be the nature boy? I don't.
Dude, yes, Ric Flair sure can.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is the nature boy.
All right. So
President Nature Boy.
all this happened because Rick Flagg sounds like Ric Flair. There's nothing else tying the two together. So Rick Flagg is showing up to assassinate Joe Cray at the Lincoln Memorial, and Deadshot is willing to shoot Rick Flagg.
And he says, "Bang bang Eddie," and I completely got
Thinking of his son.
confused.
Yeah, he's thinking of his son.
At that moment, yeah. Well, I didn't know at that time that's who Eddie was. I thought we now had a character that was in here named Eddie, who I thought was Rick Flagg, but is not Rick Flagg, but then was Rick Flagg.
I forgot Rick Flagg's name was Rick.
Yeah.
And so I just thought his name was Eddie.
Eddie Flagg?
Yeah, he was Eddie. He was Colonel Eddie Flagg, and I was like, all right, I guess he's
Sure.
I guess he's been Eddie this whole time.
That's another good name to check into seedy motels under. Eddie Flagg? That's
Eddie
a good one.
Flagg,
That is
yeah.
good. You know what another good name to check into motels is John Economos. Because he just showed up.
Yeah, John Economos. I don't. We got a big John Economos fan on the show.
For Peacemaker.
The war.
Have you guys-
And Suicide Squad.
Have you guys ever
And Steve Aggie.
signed or like checked into something under a fake name?
I actually haven't. I've never done it.
Shea, have you ever done that?
Nope.
I
Never
have.
needed to.
I do most of the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you booking them yourself, or because if a company's booking it for you, if an employer's
No,
booking
like
it
if
for
I
you,
go to
they
like a
want your real
building
name.
or something and they're like, you have to sign in.
Oh, you just signed something funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I guess I haven't done that, but it never occurred to me.
Or if
that
I make
would really-
reservations,
It just didn't seem like it would scratch the itch all that much.
I'll make up a stupid name.
Yeah. What's your best stupid name?
Well, the one I use the most isn't stupid. I just say Max Taylor. And that's the name I
It's a
use.
strong name. A la Max Power, Homer Simpson's alias.
I
There's
thought about that, but I'm like, they probably watch The Simpsons.
another one for the ticker. Another one for the ticker right there that you may or may not be seeing on the
What
video.
are we up to? 3?
Oh, we're at least 7. At least 7. So yeah, Amanda Waller is complaining that everything is going wrong because of course it's going wrong. What the
So
fuck
Shea,
did
like,
you think?
This guy, so the character from Peacemaker, that's based off of a real comic character?
Yeah, John
Yeah,
Economos is
he's a guard at at
Belle
Belle
Reef.
Reef.
He's basically just a guard, and James Gunn, I guess, decided to make him sort of like a general
Computer
tech
guy.
specialist. Yeah,
Yeah.
IT tech specialist.
He looks like him, though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's why they picked him.
Good casting.
Yeah. So Amanda Waller is complaining to John Economos that everything's going off the rails because of course it fucking does. It always does.
Because as we talked earlier, you're using a bunch of fucking losers for the most part.
Well, they're murderers. Captain Boomerang figured out how to kill people with boomerangs. He's not a loser.
I guess like this is what you get when you coerce people. Like you get results, but they're not going to be exactly what you want. You just need to.
You know, she threatened to kill these guys if they fuck up,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you think she'd be doing that?
Killing. Well, she kills a few of them. I'm not in this story.
Well, here
Right.
they're all going against her plans falling apart. You'd imagine she'd just like blow up all their heads for plausible deniability.
Well, her plan is falling apart because Tolliver is dead. She just found out that Tolliver is dead, and she's like, we don't know. We didn't want to do it this way anyway. I wanted to blackmail him. But we also don't know if he told Cray about Suicide Squad and if Cray is going to tell the media about the Suicide Squad. We don't know what's going to happen. And I've got a fucking Australian bigot running interference for me. I don't know what the hell's going to happen here. And John Economos is like, yeah, it kind of fucking sucks, man. Maybe call the Washington police and let them know what's going on.
So here Nemesis goes to a random place, realizes he doesn't know where he is, and just says, "This is hopeless."
It's the Vietnam Memorial Wall.
Well, it doesn't look like that. It looks like black windows.
It's the wall.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It looks like a
Yeah.
little building.
Dude, I went to the memorial wall once, and it's a somber thing, and I had the good courtesy to at least like put my phone on silent or whatever, and like you just see people talking, making plans to cheat on their girlfriends and everything right in front of the wall. It's like, what are you doing? Like 50
What the
feet
fuck
away.
did you see?
Yeah, it's all kind. That's what people are
You
mostly
saw
doing.
people planning affairs?
Drug deals, planning affairs, assassinations.
You just heard someone talk on the phone loudly, didn't you? That
Scratching
was it.
themselves,
That's all you saw.
scratching themselves inappropriately, doing a lot of stuff, pissing on the wall. Like that was just a step too far. Contain it. Contain yourself. No, people
Contain
got
your
no,
bladder, sir.
people-
You're at the Vietnam Memorial.
people got no respect. Like fucking no respect whatsoever.
America's most profitable war.
It did go on for a long time.
Actually, probably Afghanistan would be the
I was gonna
America's
say
most
it.
profitable war.
Halliburton made a lot of money off that.
Yeah, Iraq. That
Well,
was
Vietnam wasn't a war, right? It was a situation or whatever
Oh,
the fuck
yeah, it
we
was
called
Well, I don't think Afghanistan was technically a
It
war
was a
either.
situation ship.
I mean, I don't think technically Afghanistan was either. But Halliburton rebuilt a country. You think they didn't
sure
profit off
did.
that? Jesus Christ.
They destroyed it and rebuilt it multiple times.
Man, Halliburton's done nothing non-evil in its life ever. It's pretty fucking great.
Shay, think of the economy. Economy, please.
Think of the economos.
Please. Think of John Economy, which is another name I've checked in under.
John Economos is the Greek version.
Yes. He plays bass for Yanni. Anyway.
Economos.
Nemesis is looking at this and he's thinking about the fact that, like, I really can't kill Rick Flagg. Like, he rescued me. Everyone else is going to let me let me die. But on a previous adventure, yeah, he rescued me. I'd be, like, in a Russian gulag right now.
Yeah, he was apparently captured, and Amanda Waller was going to just leave him behind. But Flagg decided, that's my best friend, and got a bunch of the Suicide Squatters to go get him. And Nemesis apparently didn't even thank him.
Yeah, he forgot to thank him.
He was like, I didn't even thank his ass. My pride wouldn't allow me to thank another man. Nemesis.
I want to save him, but I'm still not going to thank him. There's no situation in which I will thank him.
He gets rescued from this Russian gulag from Flagg, and he's like, oh, kind of gay.
Getting rescued by a man.
I didn't think you guys should have just left me here. Like
I'm
Based
alive.
Waller.
I'm alive, but why?
I can't let a man rescue me. Ugh.
So then we flash over to the Lincoln Memorial, and we see that Rick Flagg says, yeah, I killed Tolliver, and now I'm going to kill Joe Cray. And Joe Cray's feeling a little cray himself, am I right?
Little cray-cray, you mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Flagg points the gun at him, and Cray just goes, I just pooped my pants.
He starts whimpering like a child.
I've already forgotten why Flagg wants to kill these men.
Because they're going to go, because he's afraid because they know too much about the Suicide Squad, and he's eliminating them from the board.
Yeah, so they can't go public with the Suicide Squad's existence.
Right.
Because
But little does he know, though, that Amanda Waller wanted them to know that she knows that they know that she knows, so she could blackmail him. But she didn't tell Flagg that, and so he just decided to save his friends.
so much intrigue.
Like, you think he wouldn't care.
He also looks like he's not wearing a shirt. He is.
He is.
But he
Yeah.
looks like he's wearing a trench coat over no shirt.
Or he's
Yes.
wearing no shirt and he has a necklace on.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good look. I hope when they reboot The Punisher, that's the look they go with.
Yep.
Shirtless. And he's just got a
Shirtless.
skull tattoo on his chest. so he doesn't
don't
need
say
the
that
shirt.
out loud.
A giant skull tattoo. Oh, man.
Are they
No. It's not a tattoo. It's a birthmark.
I thought they weren't gonna do the Punisher anymore because of the racists like co-opted
I don't
the
know.
symbol.
I don't know.
I know that's
how
what the
they're gonna do
comics
it.
did. The comics like changed his symbol and then they got rid of him.
I don't know. You can't keep him down for long. He'll always be back. I don't know.
Yeah, because
But-
we all secretly want him to exist.
Punisher can be pretty cool sometimes, you know?
Well, he's a brutal killer.
He's a brute. Well, so is Deadshot, and we love him.
Yeah, we do.
And so, speaking
Burt
of
Reynolds.
Yeah.
speaking of Burt Reynolds, he's sitting on the giant Lincoln statue's knee, which unfortunately does not come to life this time.
How did they get
No.
up there, and how did they not know he was there?
I think
He's
you could-
wearing a bright red costume.
Yes, it's late. It's dark. Yeah. So he's sitting up there. He's perched, and he tells Rick Flagg, "Hey, man, now you can't kill her." Waller said, "You can't kill Joe Cray, so that's not going to happen."
Yep. And so he shoots Joe Cray instead.
Yes.
Yeah, which is pretty fucking good. And immediately the cops start showing up. I don't know how they
Right.
heard this.
There's 3 people at the Lincoln Memorial. Call the cops.
I'm assuming that this is Amanda Waller calling the Washington police, but even then, how did she know that's where they were? But maybe she's tracking them and she
I
knows.
love
don't
how
know.
it looks like Lincoln approves of this murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a series of face panels, one of Deadshot, one of Joe Cray as the bullets go into his head, and then just one of Lincoln looking stoic.
He's just like, yes, based.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the police start to arrive, and Deadshot tells Rick Flagg, "Get out of here. I'll deal." Well, actually, Deadshot's having a breakdown first, and he's
Yeah,
imagining that
Deadshot
this
is
going for him.
having a death wish. He's going full Charles Bronson.
This actually is you're making a funny there, but actually Deadshot does have a death wish. He is
I
basically
wasn't making
looking
a
to
funny.
die. You were making it funny because we were talking about Charles Bronson and
Well,
the
yeah,
star
but
of Death Wish.
but it wasn't a funny ha. It was a funny as in this man
It was a
also has
funny
a wish for
aw.
death.
That's not
Yes.
a good comparison because in the Death Wish movies, in all the movies, he keeps making new wives and new families, and they all get killed. And
Yeah.
and he never feels bad about it. He just murders everyone involved.
He wishes for death in general.
And
not
then he
anything
moves to another
specific.
city, and then he gets a new wife, and she gets killed, and then he kills the whole neighborhood.
Because you could do that back in the day. You could support multiple families.
He's like, I'm not crying in my movies. I'm never gonna cry. Your daughter and son were brutally killed. I'm not crying in my
He
movie.
smokes a cigarette. Yeah.
I'm going to kill all the bad guys instead.
Pretty stoic.
What if the Death Wish 1 was originally just like about a father dealing with his trauma of his family being killed and says, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kill everyone in the movie.
I learned from Quentin Tarantino's last book that the term for those movies like Rolling Thunder and Taxi Driver and everything was revenge-o-matics is what they called those. So that's the colloquial term for those movies where like a man is wronged and then goes off on a murder spree.
What is falling down? Is that a revenge-o-matic?
Well, that's called being super based.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one.
I'm going to make a movie called Revenge-o-matic about an automated revenge machine.
I like it.
Yeah, there's Mike finally giving into automation. What about a crank up revenge machine?
As long as it doesn't have air conditioning.
Yes, as long as my revenge machine does not have air conditioning. It's
A
fine.
Phantom Lady production.
I don't have air conditioning in my house either.
What a
Like, I just don't like it. I don't know why air conditioning just feels so unnecessary to me.
I mean, I will admit that the Freon feeling is a little artificial.
I don't like. I hate it.
But
I hate when
it's
I have to go inside of a building and they have their air conditioning on. It's like I can't breathe.
better than sweltering. I can't breathe in that.
Yeah,
thick
but that's
air.
fucking real, James. That's being
don't-
alive.
I'm not a big fan of reality. I've checked out on that a long time ago.
I guess you can argue with me and say like, oh yeah, do you have heat on in your house? Yes, I do.
But yeah, you like the heat, but you don't necessarily so much like the cold.
I don't care for it. No, but no one does.
So it's just no, I'm okay with the cold. I used to not be okay with the cold, but I'm pretty okay with the cold nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I don't
but if it like drops below 40 and you don't have shelter, you'll die.
Right. Well,
Like
if
it could be 100 degrees and you're not gonna die.
eventually you might
People
get heat
die from
exhaustion.
overheating all the time.
That's God. That's God deciding. It's God taking
It's
them
God deciding if it's
into the
cold.
kingdom. Yeah, but it's like too much. It's God being
does hate us.
unfair.
God does hate us a lot.
God gave us fire, not air conditioning.
Well, that was Prometheus. He gave us fire.
Yeah, he
brought fire
stole it
down.
from God.
He stole it from the gods.
Based Prometheus.
Yeah, pretty based of him. I liked him.
He
So
was a
anyway,
good guy. That Prometheus.
I love that
I liked him.
Prometheus. He did a lot of good things. A lot of good things for society. So anyway,
We're living in a society.
yeah, I was trying to move things along, but fine.
We're living in a society.
There we go. Everybody's happy. Everybody got what they wanted. So Deadshot finally comes out of his weird state, and he tells Rick Flagg, "Just get out of here. I'll deal with the cops and everything. Just get the fuck out of here."
He says, or I'll blow your brains out again.
Yeah, because he still thinks it's his dad or something. He's
Or
seen
son.
something crazy. And so the police arrive, and including that investigator. One of
Yeah,
the
how'd they get
investigators there. Yeah, how do you know about it? As they arrive, and Deadshot puts on his best funny face and opens fire on him. Mm-hmm. Pretty fucking badass.
And then they blow him away.
Now,
Which is the way every man wishes to die.
this is a gallant death for sure. And there is a brutal panel of him just clearly having multiple bullets go through vital organs.
Not really. His hip is fucked.
His hip is okay. Well, I guess okay. So we've got a shot right in his stomach.
No, that's
All
like,
of these are non-lethal.
So like he's shot in like the appendix. Like he can survive that. His shoulder, that's bad. Like the putting that shoulder back together, unless it's like a flesh wound, is gonna be rough. His arm's okay. It's his hip that's really gonna cause problems.
It looks like we've got one going right into his fucking crotch.
Like, look at that. No, that's his hip. But that hip is ruined now. That's a shattered hip.
Yeah, that's going to pieces. No, he's dead.
His leg looks like a kind of a flesh wound.
Nope.
He can survive. Like that's not too bad.
This is not survivable, I don't think.
Well, he's
Comic
never
book
walking
logic.
again, ever.
Yes. It looks bad. It looks bad for old Deadshot. And he collapses. And finally, the investigator calls to cease firing after they've unloaded like 500 rounds into this guy.
You think Deadshot would have a bulletproof costume?
I mean, I bet he does, but bulletproof isn't really... That's kind of a misleading name, bulletproof. It's not really bulletproof. It's bullet resistant,
Well,
but
that's
nothing's
Kevlar.
bulletproof. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
that's...
didn't get like that steel plate.
But still, would it
It's
not...
heavy as fuck.
Do people have steel plate armors that they wear?
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Huh.
You got Kevlar, and underneath that is like a plate.
We really got to make bigger bullets, I guess.
They do.
Yeah, we just got to keep making bigger bullets. And
They're called armor-piercing bullets.
we got to make tougher armor, bigger bullets, and we just got to keep it up.
Yeah, until people can't walk around anymore
Yep,
or raise
and
the
then-
gun to aim because their
then we'll-
armor's too heavy.
Finally be safe, and we'll finally have peace.
That's why we need the Second Amendment.
Yes. My
We'll never-
favorite
We'll
amendment.
never get to world peace, James, without the
Fuck,
Second Amendment.
Such a good amendment. I love it so much.
We're going to amend the fuck out of this with some guns.
So then they're like, all right, go take a look at this, get an ambulance. And the guy says, well, one of these guys, Joe Cray or Deadshot, one of them's still alive. And we saw Joe Cray take a headshot. So that
Yeah,
should tell
he's
you what you
good.
need
Yeah.
to know.
Well, you can survive that. It's just that you're a vegetable.
Yeah, but pretty much Deadshot got hit everywhere but the head.
Yeah, this guy got
Deadsh-
shot in the hip. He'll never play basketball again.
Deadshot is lying in like a kiddie pool's worth of his own blood.
You can survive.
How much blood?
Do you remember RoboCop in the beginning where Peter Wellers gets blown away?
Yeah. And they blow his
So-
dick away.
So when they were filming that, they had a doctor on set to let them know what is survivable, and they just kept blowing him, like shooting him with their shit. He's like, keep going, he can survive that.
Wow.
Then he blows off his dick.
He blew off his hand.
Dick.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did shoot him in the dick.
Did
Yeah,
they?
he did.
Because there's a scene where RoboCop blows off
Oh yeah.
other people's dick. In fact,
Oh,
so-
maybe it's just that then. I just
No,
remember
you're
a
right,
dick getting
Shée.
blown
You're
off.
right. You're
Well-
right. I know he gets fucked up though.
this is worth taking a second for.
Watch that scene, maybe.
No, this is so Lasagna Cat, the always fantastic Lasagna Cat who did all the great Garfield videos a while ago. They did a weird video, a RoboCop remake. Let's see if I can find it really quick. Fatal Farm, I should say, not Lasagna Cat, but Fatal Farm. Lasagna Cat was one of their projects. And they did a really authentic looking RoboCop remake that looks like it's just a deleted scene from RoboCop, but really, I'll take the volume down and I'll play it right here. It's just an it's just an extended version of the scene where he shoots the guy's dick,
Oh, I have seen this.
but it's just dozens of guys walking up with their dicks hanging out and RoboCop shooting all of them. And it looks so authentic. It looks so good. It's so well done. Fatal Farm, those guys are incredible.
I'm gonna show that on stream.
That caused some issues with like Vimeo. It like crashed Vimeo, and Vimeo like sent them a bill and like, yeah, you have to pay for a bunch of hosting that you weren't supposed to pay for because this crashed like everything.
Vimeo's great
Awesome.
when you can't get away with it on YouTube.
So anyway, back to our story. So the next day, we're in the hospital. Amanda Waller comes to visit Deadshot, who is still alive, clinging to life, but he is alive. And she says, "What the hell were you doing? Why did you kill Cray?" And he goes, "Well, you said just keep Flagg from killing him. You didn't say I couldn't kill him." And she goes, yeah, you're technically right. Fuck.
He's like, "What am I, a mind reader?"
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, he said stop Flagg from killing Cray by any means necessary. He goes, "Well, if I kill Cray, then he can't."
Yeah, he's right.
He's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, checkmate. Right. And so she's like,
she's making a face like, "I gotta be really specific from now on."
these guys are fucking idiots and crazy.
Well, not really. He fulfilled his mission. She's
Well-
like, "These people are too good."
Well, because he took it literally. He took it so literally. And
She's got to write it down on. She has to like type it out on her computer beforehand and like really like think of the
have
wording.
it yeah, you're going to have it proofed. Yeah,
Like
you're,
you're
gonna
trying
be
to
real
get
careful.
a monkey's paw wish, and
That's
you
exactly
Yeah.
what I was thinking, Mike, was this is some monkey's paw shit.
You gotta be specific.
So then Amanda Waller's angrily walking away. She's having a little conversation with John Economos, and they're talking about, our cover's blown. Everybody's going to know about the Suicide Squad. But we also have this other thing developing, which was the Invasion crossover that DC was going through. at the time were a bunch of were the Dominators. The alien Dominators.
Ooh,
were coming to-
Dommies.
Yeah. Have you not seen the Dominators?
There's a bunch of leather daddies come to Earth.
Well, they're kind of gruesome, honestly.
We're
They
here
were
to dominate you. And
They
it
all
was
look
just
like what's his face from Judas Priest.
well, they were
Yeah,
actu-
they're all Rob Halford.
No, they're actually a Todd McFarlane design. They look like this. You
Oh.
can see this on the video there.
There's a
Pretty
Marvel
grotesque.
Comics alien that looks exactly like this.
Well, yeah, and Todd McFarlane probably drew that too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, man. So
The
yeah,
Dominators seem like a lazy idea.
I don't know, man. They were just space fascists, you know.
And they were stopped by Superman. Easily.
Well, that crossover was when DC was like, dude, we really want our own version of the X-Men. We really want our own mutants. So it's like, okay, how about this? We'll create this invasion crossover. And what we'll say is that a lot of people have a meta gene in them that may or may not be activated. And that's how we get our version of mutants, their metas. And in the story, in the invasion story, one of the aliens ends up detonating a gene bomb, which causes a lot of people's metagenes to flare up and causes a bunch of superheroes to come. So that was basically just their backdoor way of getting mutants into
well, that's a
DC.
terrible plan. Like you're
Well-
trying to conquer the Earth and you just give them more superheroes?
I don't remember how the whole story shook out, but I think it was like a rogue alien who I don't remember his reasoning.
The Dominator was like, way to go, Red Dot. He goes, oh, yeah, well, fuck you, Red Dot. You're the one with the red dot.
I think it was kind of like that. They got the red dots on the head. But basically that's where the meta gene thing comes from in DC, because mutants were hot and they wanted their own mutants. So there you go.
And they didn't want to come
And,
up with their own ideas.
And well, shit.
They're like,
Fuck, that's
"Fuck
hard.
that shit."
That shit is tough.
I ain't
And
coming up with my own idea. We want to call it meta genes. It's because it's so meta.
Yeah, get Todd McFarlane over here to draw some shit that looks like the shit he drew in Marvel. Fuck it.
Yeah, put a red dot on them. It's
That's how we
different.
do it. I like it. But yeah, Amanda Waller is making the point that because this whole thing is going on, hopefully it'll distract people from talking about the fact that the Suicide Squad's cover is blown, and that's how the story ends.
Hey, just like now, where they'll like start wars to cover up stuff politicians do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can start wars to cover up other wars.
Yeah, right? Not that war. Look at this one.
Look at this one over here. This one's way better.
This is a way more exciting war. Ooh, it's a
and,
little race baity too. That'll make some controversy on Facebook. Pick a side.
What do we think of this book?
I like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, especially this John Ostrander run is fantastic. Shea,
I also like Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And Secret Sex.
this is really
Secret
the
sex.
yes, clandestine sex. Now this was really the book that really put Suicide Squad on the map, and John Ostrander deserves most of the credit for that. I really enjoyed it too. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Whispers of political intrigue. Ooh, what are they planning? What's going on over there?
I like how I did that as it did it, and it was
Yeah.
the same thing.
Ooh. That was a fun recording session last night. Me just making ooh sounds. And ooh.
I appreciate that.
Ooh. All right. I think it's time to talk about next time. Shea, what are we doing next time? Ooh.
Is next time my birthday?
Next
Yeah,
time
happy
is your birthday.
Shea.
Next time it's my birthday.
Oh, I should play your movie.
Oh, the
Oh,
movie she was in,
yeah.
I should play that. That should be part of it.
All
All
right,
right,
we'll
we'll
be
play.
about
Tune into the stream on Twitch for Shay's movie.
It was like Sentient Grout or something like that when the movie was about.
Motivational growth.
Motivational growth. I
growth.
found that.
Found
and I'm
it.
gonna play it.
Yeah,
It's
because
my
of-
birthday episode, which means I get to pick. And last time I picked Barbie, and it was a winner.
Yep.
It's a fucking winner.
Thanksgiving too.
Yeah. This time I'm picking fucking kickers because
right.
I don't want to read beforehand.
Oh
Yeah,
right.
this is really lowering the bar.
No, honestly, I love our kickers episodes. I really do. So fuck it, we're doing one.
All right, I agree.
So yeah, Kickers Incorporated. We've done 4 of these before. There's 12 big issues, and Kickers Incorporated is a book about a NFL team that moonlights as superheroes.
Well, they were like a detective agency, but then they're just like problem solvers. Like when your garden gets fucked up, you call kickers.
This was the problem, is that
and then they become armed mercenaries and get PTSD.
Yeah.
They went to like Nicaragua.
But they might lose the game.
and
don't forget about drugs and clowns.
It has a very sordid legacy. It is not looked back on fondly. It was kicked around between a lot of different writers because people couldn't really figure out what the hell to do with this thing. But I maintain it's probably fantastic. And once we read enough of them, we'll realize how great it is.
I think we've liked every one so far, though.
We really have enjoyed it all.
Well, we have two traditions, is that we read them out of order. And that we read them for the first time while recording the show. We have not read them preemptively.
I wonder what started that.
It was, you ask this every time, and I tell the same story every time, which is I just thought it was a fun idea, and then Kickers was just the next thing we were going to do. And so I said, fuck it, let's just do it on that one.
Oh, and I'm sure I was just like, I don't care, let's do it.
I think we did one other one. Oh, yeah, we did, that wasn't the Badger. The Falcon? Who is that? We did another comic right around that time. The first blind read we did was with some animal creature.
I don't even remember
character.
at all. I thought we only did it with Kickers.
I think I take that back. I think maybe the first time we did it was a Kickers issue, but then we did it for something else. We did it for
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
No, we read that.
No, maybe it wasn't Phoenix. It was dude, what the hell?
So
was
long
that?
ago, bro. We've made so many of these.
We've made almost 250 of these.
How do we remember any of them?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but it was a book that only went 2 issues.
Oh my God, Crazy Man! I forgot all about that. Shée loved Crazy Man for some reason.
It's good.
It was not.
The Cougar. We read The Cougar. We read issue 1 of The Cougar blind, and then it turns out that in issue 2 of The Cougar was paralyzed at the end of the issue.
Oh, we gotta throw the Cougar.
That's right.
All right, let's put Cougar 2 back on the wheel next time.
Because he was a wrestler, a stuntman, right?
He was a stuntman. Yeah,
Stuntman.
Issue 2, he was in a wheelchair. We gotta put that on the wheel.
And the issue 2, at the end of issue 2, he's in a wheelchair, and then it was canceled. They never got to do issue 3, so that's just how it ended, with him in a wheelchair. Yeah, maybe we can put that back on the wheel. Already betraying our pledge to not add more non-requests to the wheel, but I'm sure someone would want it. So we've got a Kickers wheel here with the remaining 8 Kickers issues we have not read, and we're gonna spin it. And it's going to be Shay's birthday celebration. But we always
Shée.
Happy birthday, Shée. And we always need to listen to some spinning music before we spin. This is another one coming from Hermer Firmer from Twitch, who's always got the wheel song hookups. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know how he knows.
He has a music stream.
He knows a lot of wheel songs.
And he knows every song ever made.
Oh, well, this was a fucking ripper, I'll say. It's from Tea Eater. It's called Respect the Wheel. Yeah, that's
it.
That
Spot on.
That it's like a minute and a half song, and all of the lyrics are about wheels. It's perfect. It's actually, I really enjoyed that song. Yeah, combines 2 of my favorite things: the wheel and showing respect.
Yep.
Can definitely spin to that. Thank you, Hermer Firmer. All right, let's see what we got.
Come on, Kickers.
Okay, we're looking at. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. We're going to look at issue 6. And
6.
I've got the covers pulled here. Let's see which one we're going to look at.
Covers pulled up to my nose.
So here's Kickers issue 6.
Great.
It says,
Great.
hijack. And
yes.
That's
a blimp. That's going to be a motherfucking blimp. That's going to be a blimp because they're football players. That's going to be a blimp, guys.
Oh, yeah, it'd be like Goodyear.
Yeah, it's going to be a blimp.
Interestingly, this cover is kind of the reversal of the Suicide Squad cover we just read, because on the Suicide Squad cover, we're watching 2 guys in the background shooting at a character in the foreground. Here, we're from the perspective of someone in the foreground shooting at someone in the background.
Oh, yeah.
It's an assassination, and a pilot is being shot by a mysterious hand, and one of the Suicide Squad, one of the Kickers members, is just kind of at a
Magna
loss.
Conte?
I was about to say that's not
Is
just
that-
some
that
kickers
the
member.
kicker?
Isn't that Magna Conte?
Well,
Captain of the football team, quarterback Magna
Well-
Conte, who's on steroids.
Well, as we know, Magna Conte's in his mid-50s. This guy looks like he's 16, so I don't know. But then again, the art team shuffled all the time, so it's possible that's Magna Conte. Magna Conte. But yeah, I think you're right. You know what's funny is the Kickers have a member named Suicide, and he probably would have liked Kickers Incorporated to be called the Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are.
And the Suicide Squad want to be known as kickers.
They really did. They really wanted because they liked kicking guys in the balls.
It's because Boomerang loves football.
That's a right kicker, ain't it?
It's a kicker right in the nuts.
I'm finally starting to iron out the kinks in my Australian accent at the end of the show, and now
You
it's
just gotta
now
say
it's
"oi"
useless.
before you start your sentence to really get in the mood.
Get a couple of tinnies. Crack open a couple of tinnies.
I'll put a donger on my donger.
What, you don't like tinnies? You don't like the occasional tinny, Shea?
It sounded like you said titties.
No, it's tinnies. It's what they call beers.
Oh, I thought you were saying titties like that
No.
was a slang.
Yeah,
for beer.
I thought that's why I was like, I don't want to open
Crack
up a
open
bunch
a
of
couple of
titties.
titties.
Well, what if titties though was a slang for beer?
I don't want to open up a couple titties in any reason.
Oi,
You don't wanna
beer's
crush a few?
titties.
You don't want to crush a few, Shea? A few Fosters?
They don't drink that in Australia.
Yeah, my understanding
wanker.
is that Foster's was like a generic term for beer. It's like saying a Bud
Yeah,
in America. Yeah,
which is
nobody
also
actually-
gross, and it makes you gay.
Yeah, all beer is gross. No, the only beer that makes you gay is Schmidt's Gay, of course.
Oh yes,
Classic.
Schmidt's gay.
If you've got a big thirst and you're gay. What a good.
I
what
thought
a
that was so
dumb-
funny when I was a kid.
It was great at the time.
It's still funny.
It
If
was
any of
so
you-
fucking great.
Any of you youngins who haven't seen the old SNL sketch for Schmidt's Gay, go watch that. Oh my god. It makes no sense. It's not especially like it's not classically
well,
funny
it's
for
like
any reason.
Simpsons, and it predicted Bud Light.
The gayest drink.
It's like saying the champagne of beers. It's like the gay beer.
The gay beer. Well, you know, I aspire to a lot of gay traits. you
Sure.
know. In my best time, I'm a little gay.
Well, you're 40 and in shape.
Yeah, those are the only ones, aren't they? Dude, why were we ever derogatory towards gay men in this country? Like, they
I mean, I wasn't
clearly-
as a kid. Gay didn't mean homosexual. It meant your friend was acting like a pain in the ass.
All right. Well, I feel really good about that. Happy birthday, Shea. And
Whee! Man, I really hope that's a blimp.
Shea,
Yeah.
star of film motivational growth.
I'm not a star. I have no lines.
I'll edit in some.
yeah, we'll dub in a couple lines. A couple of me going, ooh, yeah, a little more political
ooh.
intrigue. Ooh, yeah.
And,
Was
and
that all
some-
you?
And lots
Yeah.
of Second Amendment guerrilla.
That was just me. That was just me going, ooh, yeah. Ooh. A little bit of this, a little of that guy.
Hey, was ever Monsieur Mala ever in the Suicide Squad?
In the TV show?
No, it's
No,
just,
no.
you know,
Yeah.
No,
Was Monsieur Mala?
Monsieur Mala. You know,
I don't know that he
gorilla
was
with the
ever.
guns.
Yeah, I don't know that he was ever in the Suicide Squad.
It seems like he'd be a perfect character because he has
could be.
guns.
It's possible that
The
he could
most
have been.
effective weapon.
Why, Shea? Why are you so confident he was in? I don't. He was in the
Because
Suicide-
because my brain subbed in Doom Patrol instead of
He's in the
Suicide Squad.
Brotherhood
Oh
of Evil.
yeah,
The
And that's why I
Brotherhood
was
of
like,
Evil.
yeah.
that should be their
true
next show.
Brotherhood.
When they get done making Doom Patrol, they should make
Well,
a Suicide Squad show.
Unfortunately, by the time this episode drops, Doom Patrol will be R.I.P.
Over.
I'm very sad about it. But 4 insane seasons of Doom Patrol, I can't ask for much more. But I'm gonna be sad forever now.
I just watched the last episode of Attack on Titan. Mm-hmm. After watching that show for the last fucking 15 years.
I still don't know what it is, and I don't plan to.
Oh, it's a anime.
I only want to watch the bad parts, like Indiana Jones. I only want to see the shit.
I recommend it. I recommend Attack on Titan if you've never seen it.
Shea, plug me up.
All right. Well, listen to us, all of us, any of the episodes with us on any podcast app, including the one you're using right now, or Spotify, or find even more at darksidescouch.com, including the RSS feed. And follow Darkside's Couch on all of the shits like YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and whatever we call Twitter now and Twitch. And follow
We
Mike
call
on Twitch And
The centihules.
is that did I get it all?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm also adding the videos to Spotify as well as YouTube. It's a little bit of a hassle because it seems to be that I can only add them to a pre-existing episode, so I might need to add them after I upload them, and depends on what I'm doing Monday morning when it goes up. It's a whole fucking thing. But you are going to see the videos on Spotify as well if you prefer to listen there. You can also check it out visually. So we're working on it. We're working on it.
We're like Joe Rogan.
Yes, we're right on Joe
We're
Rogan's
probably the
heels.
only 2 shows on Spotify that does that.
The Always Sunny podcast was doing it until they took an unofficial hiatus because of the strikes, or at least
All right,
assumedly
let's
because of the
steal
strikes.
their thunder and their time slot.
Sure, the time slot.
Now it's just us and Rogan.
It's a podcast. There's no
We're
time
on the
slot.
same level as Rogan.
Yeah, we are coming up on Rogan's donkey here. We're real
That's
close.
right. Soon we'll
All right.
have Alex Jones on.
So close.
We only have 3 microphones, so one of us has to leave for the Alex Jones episode.
Alex Jones can have mine because I basically fill that
It's going to be
role.
the same thing. All right. Anyway, got any final thoughts? We got to get out of here.
It's never a bad time to listen to Dark Side's Couch on Spotify.
Shée?
Paul Winchell, who's the voice of Tigger, did actually patent the first artificial heart in a human. That one I'm right about. I double checked.
Good.
I double checked.
Good.
That one I'm right about.
Thank you,
right.
Tigger.
It's all time for now, Christian Crusaders. We'll talk to you next time on the couch.
Floyd Lawton, a.k.a. Deadshot. Meet Task Force X. Temple Fugit, the Clock King. Planner, tactician, expert with locks and systems infiltration. Betty Suic, current alias Plastique, explosives expert. George Harkness, a.k.a. Captain Boomerang, expert thief and inventor.
Listen to me. I'm just saying. One day you could be there. Next day, fucking gone, mate.